It's going.
All right, we are live.
Oh, are we live? Okay, well, we are live on YouTube, but Twitter apparently requires a premium account now to stream live. Well, hello and welcome.
Hello. That's a great start to the stream.
It really is. It's a great start. So, hello and welcome. So we have not streamed since January of 2024. So it's been a while, but welcome back to True Tone. I've got my usual crew here. We're all back and we look completely different. But to my other side, Michael, and then we've got.
You're pointing to the wall, man. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh, is it? Does it look different on yours?
You're
over here. You're over there. He's down there. Oh, it's all different for you. Okay, cool. Yeah, okay. Well, I don't know what everybody else sees, but they're over here around somewhere. But yeah. Anyway, so it's 2025. It's February. It's been an interesting start to the year, I'd say. So let's see. So there are a few phones that were coming out. We had two announced recently. We had the iPhone 16e, and then the same day, OnePlus announced their 13R, and that was pretty interesting. For the same price.
Their Apple Watch competitor too, the OnePlus Watch 3, which if you've noticed, has the misspelling of made.
I did
somehow.
See that. I did see that. I did see that. The cat decided to say hello.
Oh, hello.
She loves tech.
Nice.
She loves tech. From what I saw, like the OnePlus Watch 3 seemed like it was pretty good, but then again, that was reviewers, so I don't know. We'll have to see what everybody else thinks. But yeah, so I know we were talking about the iPhone 16e when we first started before we got on here because it's such a weird phone. It's such a weird phone. So we went from the iPhone SE kind of being the default SE, very small, still had the home button. And if you think that people didn't buy that, you're wrong. I actually know one person at work who has one currently.
One?
So, one. Okay. Yes, I was shocked. But that phone, was great because it used the housing of, an iPhone 8, which you've got cases, you've got screen protectors, you've got all kinds of stuff. The iPhone 16e, though, come to find out, it looks like the iPhone 14 and 15 accessories fit it, but it's going to look weird because of the one camera.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was
one thing, though, is if the volume buttons fit, you technically have you get MagSafe. It's MagSafe by default on all the 14 and 15 cases. So you're not really missing out on that, at least. But
that is true.
Who knows?
I really felt like MagSafe in the phone is such a weird omission.
That's like it's the weirdest downgrade you could possibly put on a phone. Like you sell so many MagSafe accessories, like the wallet, you have MagSafe docks and everything, and you just can't use those because. So why would you?
Yeah,
it's like
and really, and what if you pay $100 more, you get the iPhone 15, but then the iPhone 15 doesn't have Apple Intelligence, so then they want you to pay another $100 for the 16.
Yeah,
and
and the 16 is weird too because it does wirelessly charge, but you're also capped there. It's like 7.5 watts or something for the wireless charging. So if you do have MagSafe cases and you use a MagSafe charger with it, you're not going to get the full charging like you would on the regular 16.
Right.
Really? Yeah. I did not know that. So you're capped at 7 watts?
Yeah.
7.5 compared to 15. Yeah.
So it's a very strange decision. And they that
is weird.
I mean, I like how they hyped up USB-C in their video. Like they were like, you can plug it in. It's like
I hope so. No, it would have been really funny if they put lightning on the thing like that.
Yeah. Oh, that would have been icing on the cake. That would have been icing. But they all are USB-C now, which is good.
Yeah.
But I am very interested to see how their modem, their house built modem works.
Yeah, like that's the main reason I bought one because I was like, I really liked the SEs in previous years, like especially the first few that came out because I just liked that form factor. And so I kept gravitating back to that because I just like the smaller, like candy bar size phone. But then, now with the 16e, there wasn't a lot of reason to buy it other than that new chip kind of sold me.
You just get a 16 at that point. I mean, if you want the same form factor.
Yeah. Definitely curious. Hopefully the overall modem works pretty good and it doesn't cause any issues with the phone. But I'm still kind of at a loss why there's no MagSafe. And then
it's such a weird omission. And then the single camera, like, I mean, just and the OnePlus 13R coming out the same day for the same price with like 3 cameras and a Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, like, and it has wireless charging and all the stuff in it. It's not that they can't do it; they just don't want to. They want to have those different tiers, you know. And
they don't care because they know, like, anybody who's getting it is getting it on installment. They're getting it free, or like most people that get that phone, it's like they go into an Apple store and they're like, crap, my phone broke, I need a new phone. And so they just get the SE for, well, now it's going to be the 16E for $599, which is just insane.
Yeah. I would highlight these comments, but the name is a little bit not going to do it. Not going to do it. However,
that's great. Did they have for the 16E? Do you know if there's like better repairability or anything? Like, did they mention anything about that as well?
Yes, it does have the same, I guess, removable back and front that all of the 16s have. So
that's
which is nice. However, the weird thing is, like, the main like repairability aspect for the 16 was not being able to replace with an aftermarket piece of glass because there was MagSafe built into it. So if you swapped it out, it wouldn't work because there was a compatibility issue with hardware. But now that there's no MagSafe, I'm curious to see if they have any like hardware restrictions, if you can like swap it out with a custom like aftermarket piece of glass now or not.
Yeah,
that'd be interesting.
Yeah,
that would be interesting. When I first saw this phone come out, the first thing I thought of, like, I was like, this is a company, like, this is an enterprise company phone. That's literally its only purpose.
Yes.
Because, like, at work, the phones that they issue, 14s and 15s, and that's it. It's base storage. That's it.
It's going to be huge for enterprise, I think. And especially because the single camera, like, it's going to be golden for a lot of enterprise for many reasons. But I think it's just such a hard sell now for kids, I think, because like previously, I think the SE was like cheap phone. You could get it for, first phone for your kid or something. But it's like now you might as well, especially if you're on a carrier, you might as well pay like $7, $8 more and get the regular 16. And then your kid's pretty much set for, 4, 5, 6 years.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I mean, the thing is with the 16E though, is that you get the A18, I think it is, right? With so longevity wise, I mean, it should be pretty decent, I think. I mean, I don't know. And the fact that it has that like single lens, at least for me, I don't think would bother me too much. Because I mean, the amount of times I use an ultra wide lens is like, I mean, me personally, I don't really use it too much, because it's kind of not the best at low light and stuff. But
now, does it have all the camera like niceties within the software, or is it kind of limited there too?
It doesn't have the like the new, what's the new filter stuff they added?
That custom, like, I don't know
forgot what they call it.
Styles.
Yeah, the styles or whatever. That's not in there. But I think for the most part, it's pretty close to on par with the regular 16.
Okay.
But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that one plays out. I mean, I think developers like it because it's still a cheap iPhone to use for development. Like there's purposes for it. And I think they'll sell millions of them, I'm sure. But I just curious, do you think they'll upgrade this one in like another like 4 or 5 years? Or is this now going to just fall in line with the lineup going forward?
I'm glad you brought that up because I thought about that, like the naming scheme. iPhone SE, like, you can say first, second, third generation, but it doesn't show a year in there. So you have no idea how old. I mean, the average person is going to go on the website. I don't know how old this phone is, but that one was out for 2 years. But if you have a 16E, now it's part of the 16 generation. So if you keep it out for 2 years, they're going to say, oh, well, when now we're on the 18 or 19, like this phone is old. They should have probably, I mean, in my opinion, just kept the SE name.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how many times I've called it the SE already. Like that's all anybody's
all it is.
Yeah,
it's just like Twitter. I mean, X. We're gonna keep calling it Twitter.
Yep.
So the 16E is the SE.
Yeah.
But I was just looking up real quick, like the specs of the 16E versus the OnePlus 13R. I mean, if you're like, okay, if you don't mind, having Android, I think that like that's a pretty good deal, the 13R.
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah,
you're getting a bigger screen.
Yeah, you could get so many options especially if you're thinking $599. Like,
yeah,
I think it's difficult if you're buying it outright. It's very hard to justify $599 unless you absolutely want an iPhone and that's your budget for an iPhone. But if you're paying on installment, there's a ton of other great phones for less, or the same. And then you could buy like an iPhone 15 used, an iPhone 14 used for less money. And then
literally
all of these
anything
new Androids are, priced really well. Like I think OnePlus is doing a pretty great job right now and they offer quite a lot of value, but it's if you don't want Android, it's difficult.
Yeah. And I switched to the S25 Ultra at the beginning of the month. And honestly, I'm mostly happy with it, but there's just little things between iPhone and Android that really just makes the experience different. Like I think Samsung did a great job with One UI 7. It's really smooth, everything works really well, but like app developers, like there's just a polish to the iOS versions of these apps, and it's like very clear. And if they could get that part of it, like for example, and this is stupid, I ordered Jimmy John's tonight, right? Okay, and for some reason, I've tried to use this app in the past on Android, and like on the iPhone, you have Apple Pay. On Android, you have Google Pay as an option to pay. Google Pay never functions, never works. Couldn't do it. It just would never work with any card I had on there, and it's only that app. It makes no sense. So I had to actually like enter a card manually in there, and then tonight I tried to order, and it's saying you have a promo code you can't use. I had no promo code in there at all. So like I'm like, what the hell is wrong with this thing? So I delete I had 2 sandwiches in there, like 2 combos in there. I delete them. I add 1. And then like I go in the promo code section, there's nothing there. And it's like, you can't use this promo. And I'm like, there's nothing in there. So what do? Inevitably, I go back to my iPhone because I know it actually is going to work. But that just comes down to like the app developer, I'm guessing. Yeah.
I mean that one of the main reasons why I couldn't switch over to the 9 Pro was because of, app compatibility, but also just general, like, switching over my iMessage group chats to, RCS is such a pain. Like it, as Cassandra said, it made me sad.
Well, the funny thing, so she had the S24 Ultra.
Yeah. So she had the S23, S24, and then got the S24. And actually in the middle of that, she tried iPhone again, hated it, went back to the S24. So she had 2 S24 Ultras.
Yeah. Right. And Hunter also switched to the S24 Ultra, and he actually liked it better than the S25 Ultra. I don't know. Yeah.
She liked the feel. Like as soon as she held the S25 Ultra, she was like, nope. Like it was like instant, like this is awful. Why did they make it feel worse? And so like for her, she was like, I want nothing to do with this one. And then plus like Apple Watch also is really hard to leave. So like
yeah,
that's fair.
And then this is a familiar. I like your name. Ian. I really do. I really like it. Hunter's giving me like a glare right now. Hunter switched back to his iPhone from the S25 Ultra, so now he's.
So are you gonna switch back? Or are you?
I'm riding this out for a little bit. I think it's fine. Now,
even act like you don't complain about it constantly.
Oh, Hunter said I complain about it constantly. He's wrong. I don't complain. Well, I'm complaining obviously online right now about the apps. That's like but like I don't use AI for anything. I'm old. So like I don't,
That was the thing I noticed with it is I turned so I set up the S25 Ultra because I got one as well. And then as soon as I set it up, I'm like, wow, I just removed 90% of the stuff they showed in the keynote. And so like, why am I using this? I'm like, this is so dumb. So I like immediately went back to iPhone. I'm like, it just doesn't make any sense.
Well, if anybody happens to want an S25 Ultra case, I have a few. So
send them over.
I still haven't bought one, so I have no clue if it's good or not.
I don't even have my UAG contact anymore. My UAG contact is gone.
Oh, right.
Because I don't know. They hate me. I don't know.
They hate you for not uploading videos.
I don't know. But yeah, I have a few cases I have to review, but I've been trying to get back into it. It's terrible. I'm trying. So like since last year, a lot has changed. I moved, so I'm up north. I hate snow, by the way. That's awful.
Welcome to winter.
That is fair.
No, and like I came up here and like they were like, yeah, it has snowed in like 3 years, and I'm like, awesome. And the 1 year I come up here, it snows, and then it snows twice.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, no,
Yeah, those
this
East
time
Coast snows don't mess around either. Like you're kind of dumped for the most part.
no. And then the funniest thing was like last week they were like, yeah, it's gonna snow really bad on Wednesday. You're gonna get like 8 to 10 inches, and I was like, please God, no. And then the next day they're like, don't worry, it's going down south. It's going to Norfolk, and I was like, yes, they can have it. Y'all can have that. And we got like this much, so I was happy.
Well, that's always fun.
I mean, I don't mind a snow day. Like my job now, I have to go in every day, so I have no choice.
Yeah.
But hey, it's fine. It's fine. But what else? What else has been released recently?
Dude,
It's new. Oh, we could talk
And
about
that's it.
cars. No, the Model
No.
Y, the new Model Y revision that they did.
Yeah.
It's basically it's a mid-cycle refresh that they're making sound a lot better than it really is. I like the way it looks.
Yeah.
But
I think it looks better. Of course, they got rid of the rattles, supposedly. I highly doubt that. The second it goes into mass production, of course. I'll get my 54th overnight for the Model Y new, but I don't know. I just assume it's going to be the same once it's production, because the Model 3 was exactly like that. When it first hit production, you started hearing those nice little rattles and creaks that you're very familiar with the older ones, and with the standard releases. And it's like, okay, that's cool. I mean, the suspension's better on the 3 and Y now, which is nice. You have the rear screen that's still useless.
Unless you have kids.
Tesla. Yeah, sure. But
still,
I mean,
it's still like, isn't it?
Yeah, the
super small
angle
too?
and it's small. It's
Yeah.
like I don't see the point. But either way, I think it's a good upgrade. But the price needs to go down for it to sell. I think it's still priced very high. I mean, at least the launch series is like $60,000, right?
Yeah.
So.
Well, and I think
That
it's
goes
crazy
down.
too, because you look at the resale market too. It's like you could get Teslas for a third of what they're launching at, and
yeah.
so it doesn't make any sense for most people buying.
No.
Yeah, and I
the
mean-
thing is too is they're making like at this point, right? If you wanted to get like a used Model 3, that's like a 22, it might rattle, but it'll last.
Right.
That motor and battery, they're known for that at least. So, it'll last you a good 5-6 years at least. It should at least. So yeah, I really don't see the point in buying a new one.
I honestly had a thought, like, because I know we were talking earlier, like I sold mine and got a gas car because it really, like, at the end of the day, when I moved up here, the difference was I didn't have charging readily available. Like home charging makes the difference when you have a Tesla or an EV. But the moment you live somewhere where you can't do that, or you live in a busy metropolitan area where like the superchargers are full all the time, it was not fun. And then supercharging is not cheap everywhere. So like it cost about as much as filling up a tank of gas every week. And I'm like, this just isn't, like, it just became more inconvenient.
Well,
and it wasn't
Ian,
that
I have a great proposition for you if you plan on getting another Model 3.
Well, I was going to say this. So like if I buy another one, I'm going to buy a used one as a secondary car. I think that may make sense.
Of course.
Look, I found
but
one.
okay, but here's how to charge it though. No, Ian.
Go ahead.
Okay. You get a diesel generator and you throw it in the garage. And then suddenly you have home charging.
I'm sure my apartment complex would love that.
Dude,
I'm sure they would love that.
It's the future. Either they install chargers or you bring your own. And you brought your own until they provide one.
Let me tell you though what pissed me off. Like after I sold it, right? Someone had a 2024 Model 3 on the top floor, which like is not it's not covered, but they have regular outlets up there.
Outlets
like
for
not
standard
like fast
chargers.
ones.
Yeah.
But I was like, if I had that, that would have been enough to probably make me keep it. Then again, I don't want to have a $700 car payment anymore. So
See, it was that, and then the cost of insurance. Like car insurance for that thing was killing me. It like tripled here for most EVs. So it was like no reason for me to be paying like a car payment for car insurance.
It's going up
And then-
$100 for me a month in July.
Yeah.
are you
It's
doing
for
the
no
Tesla
reason.
insurance or something else?
No, I'm using Geico, but it's a
Yeah.
bundled policy, so it should be cheaper, but it's just
Yeah.
not. It's the
Yeah, I
most
tried
expensive car in the
Geico.
policy.
Yeah, I tried Geico, Progressive. I was on USAA, and USAA was like just barely the cheapest. And then like Geico and Progressive, like they were quoting like almost $600 a month, and it's like that's
For
insane
just that car?
for just that
That's
car.
fun.
And so it's
Wow.
like
Drew,
It's
what
like-
did you do?
that's
What
what I
did
was.
you
I was
do?
like, did somebody like wreck my driver's license or something? Like, what's going on? I'm like, I
Dude,
have
that's
4,000
insane.
miles on this car. Like, what's the deal? So
I know you
Yeah.
barely drive.
yeah,
Like how?
and then yeah, so as soon as I sold it, like now I'm back to paying like next to nothing for a gas car. Oh yeah, the heated
That's
seats
amazing.
are the best.
Yeah.
I
no,
mean,
that's-
oh, it's because we're in Michigan. Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I will say though, I think the Tesla's heated steering wheel is better than the Lincoln's.
Really?
I don't know.
Really, I
I
like
know.
my Jeep's heated steering wheel better, primarily because in my Tesla it was starting to bubble up, like how you see the steering wheel wraps start to like bubble up a bit, and then I noticed it wasn't getting nearly as hot. That like my Jeep's is like instant, like it's hot all around. It works well,
Yeah.
but the Tesla one, I had issues with mine.
Yeah,
about the-
me too. I got mine replaced for the same thing too. It was starting to bubble up on the back, and like
Yeah.
They
they
haven't
replaced
fixed
it.
that.
And it feels awful. Like I was like I would hate driving because as soon as I would be like, why am I paying for this expensive car? And then this thing's
Yeah.
just peeling.
Yeah.
Well, so like I guess we haven't seen how newer ones have aged, but I know like Michael, you did a video of the Model X. I can't
Oh, the
believe that
plaid.
was
Yeah, dude.
that was a
thing's
loaner
disgusting.
and it looked like
Yeah.
that.
No, that thing got
That-
beat, like thrashed,
Dude, that-
and
That blew my mind. And no, when you got in it, like I was watching your video of it, and I'm like, did someone let him borrow this? Like, why is there stuff in this car? And then the peeling steering wheel, and then you said it's a loaner, and I was like, oh my god, that's
Yeah.
embarrassing.
had 40,000
so
miles on it,
embarrassing.
and it was destroyed. I mean,
That's-
it was a 2022. There were stains in the seat. There was a or a brown rim on the inside of the center console, like that little lid thing
Yeah.
on the carpeting underneath there, destroyed. There were trim
ridiculous.
pieces missing on the outside. There was a wind noise.
It
Well-
sounds like that hotel room in New York.
I know, it felt like it.
That's gross.
It was just missing the coffee cup.
Right.
Oh my god.
And they gave you the loaner for free though, right? Like, did you see any
Thankfully,
of their
yeah.
other loaners by chance? Like, were
That
they
was the
all
only one they
similar?
had.
Ah,
That was the
okay.
last one. They were like, unfortunately, we don't have any threes, so we'll have to give you this, and it's a plaid. And I'm like, all right, sure, that's
Yeah.
dang.
And they were using like their lemons as loaners before too.
right, yeah. This
Yeah.
one's
So-
this one was a lemon law buyback. Yeah, it had it branded on the VIN sticker
I
on the
guess
inside of
it's
the
a-
door.
Cheap way to do it, but
Do you
They
think for
were
like
clean it.
upsell, they would like want to like put you in like a nice loaner so that way
Yeah.
like maybe like
Yeah.
a nice Model X to be like, okay, now maybe I want the Model X instead of driving like the Model 3 I had.
Right.
And
Yeah.
now they're making more money, but like they just
Yeah.
don't think of it that
Yeah,
way.
no, they.
no.
I mean, the last loaner I got from that place was a 2021, so like the pre AMD Model 3,
Yeah.
which was terrible.
The one they gave me
Yeah.
was like one of the first Model S, like one of the
Mm,
early year Model S loaners is what I got, and it had like
ugh.
everything was sticky inside. Like it felt awful.
like a true
Wow.
German car.
Yeah. And I'm not a fan of like the way they had the initial screen, like the long
Right.
front. That one's awful, and like the interface. And then there was no one pedal driving, so I'm like, I got in it and I was
Oh,
just confused. I
right.
was like, wait, I have to actually like brake in this one? Like, come on.
What?
Yeah.
All right, I feel bad. I'm not going to highlight the one with the crazy name, but I know she said she needs the cases. I'm curious which cases you've tried so far. I think she's gotten a couple of different cases from different case companies. I still like accessories, but it's just too much work. That's too
It's
many.
a lot. It also requires you to buy every phone. So,
yeah, I'm not doing that anymore.
Yeah,
And
I
then-
backed out of that. I just mentioned that on my channel. I'm not buying every phone anymore either. Especially
It's not
now,
worth
it's like the S25 Ultra, I think, did it for me. It was like I unboxed that, I tried using it, and I'm like, it's the same phone for the last 3 years.
Dude,
like,
it's
there's
literally
not
the
a huge
exact same
difference.
thing.
Yeah.
I think that's what's gotten me like interested in older phones again, because like after 2010, like that little period after 2010 before 2020, like there's so much like innovation. I don't know if you can call it innovation. They were just different styles. People were trying different stuff, and like there was actually interesting form factors. And now we're kind of like we're stuck on, okay, it's a slab. It's almost 7 inches. It's got the same camera array. They're just slightly better, and AI.
Right.
A lot of AI. It's all, and I think they're going really heavy on AI, and people really don't care about it as much as they think that.
No, I think most disable it. Most aren't using it the way that, at least not the features that they're dropping for it. They're just not super useful. And most will just download, like they'll use Gemini, or they'll use ChatGPT. Like they're not using these features in device. Like how many people do you know that like use the Samsung web browser? Like pretty much everyone I know downloads another browser. Yeah. And it's like all these features are baked into these like manufacturer third-party apps, and no one's using those. So like you have to like really grasp for straws when you're unboxing a phone now to find what's new that's like worth talking about. That
you don't even get accessories, so you literally have nothing to talk about.
You unbox it and you're like, cool, empty box.
There it is.
There it is. And it's an iPhone problem too. And I mean, Apple kind of started that wave with, the last several iPhones have all looked the same. But for me, it's like, I'm stuck with Apple now. Like I don't see a reason to switch or a reason to keep buying stuff unless something cool comes out that's like, fun to cover. But not sure what that's going to be.
I know for me, like with Apple, I was hoping that they were going to do like an iOS 7-esque like redesign of the OS. And like, we got to iOS 18 and I'm like, okay, well, I guess we're not getting that anytime soon. I mean, I feel like at some point in the near future, they're going to be like, all right, we're going to go back to the old way things
like
looked.
skeuomorphic and all that.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to go right back to that. And then everybody else will follow suit. And we'll just have like, and it's just going to be a constant circle. You know what? Let's go back to flat, modern design. And it's just going to be a constant
minimal.
circle.
It's just going to be nothing.
It's going to be
You'll
one
be tapping
app.
a blank white screen, and you'll just assume where things are at this point.
Unless one day we just have that futuristic thing, like where they thought it would just be a piece of glass that you could see through, and you just like.
Oh, of course, yes.
It'll still be the same like level of AI or Siri that we have now, and it's going to be absolutely horrendous.
Yep.
I couldn't catch that. What did you say?
I didn't tell you my Siri, ever since I had the beta and I've switched iPhones a few times, is now stuck with the Irish accent indefinitely.
Keep it. So don't ever get rid of it.
Forever an Irish accent.
I was about to do an Irish accent, but I would butcher it. Let me not do that. I don't know why. And the first thing I thought about was a leprechaun. There's something wrong with me.
I mean, that's a pretty logical thing to come up with, but yeah.
Oh man. God. Oh, all right. Let me highlight this real quick. I got Crave, Poetic, Subcase, Binks. Is it Banks or Binks? I know Banks, like BENKS. Pataka.
I know a lot of them are switching their teams up internally. Like a lot of places have new reps, and there's been some like case company buyouts and mergers and stuff, and so it's kind of all over the place.
I really don't know where any of the other case companies went. Like, unless I'm just out of the loop, but like Pataka, I haven't heard that name since like 2020. Like,
they used to email me a lot, but like I just ignored them, so it was probably on me.
I don't think they've gotten in contact with me, but I will say Spec sent out. Well, I have like the Specs affiliate, and they sent out an email, and that's how I found out that the iPhone 14 and 15 cases worked for the 16e. And I was
Oh,
like,
nice.
oh, that's interesting. But I'm like, now I'm genuinely like, I ordered that phone so I could take a look at it. But now I'm kind of genuinely curious, like, should I buy an iPhone 14 case and just see how bad the huge hole, like,
Yeah.
we're going back to like the iPhone 10R, because the 10R and the 11, they can share the same cases, but you put an iPhone 11 case on a 10R and it's like, wow, it's just
stupid.
It's missing something. There's something missing here.
Yeah. It's almost like it's on purpose, like it's a blank switch on a car.
Yeah. Oh my God. And funny enough, so like I know I mentioned like at work we have 14s and 15s, but we had phones going back to the 10R. So we have 2 people in our office who are using an iPhone 10R, and one of the guys, he was like, hey, would it be possible to get a phone with 5G? And I was like, oh my God, I forgot the 10R at LTE. And I'm like, I can only imagine, like, imagine you have like a nice iPhone, like a newer one with 5G, and then your work phone is old as it's like the oldest phone that can support iOS 18.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I completely forgot that they.
Yeah, that was what, 2018? That was 2018, right, for the XR?
Around there, yeah.
And I was like, wow, they are, government. They're like, yeah, we're gonna run these things to the ground. We're gonna run these to the ground, man.
Oh man.
I was shocked. Yeah, so we had 2 iPhone 10Rs, and when he asked me about that, he's like, can I get a phone with 5G? And I went and asked, and they were like, no, we can't get anything else. And I was like genuinely curious. I was like, how often do you guys switch these out? He's like, whenever the contract comes up. It's all through Verizon. It's all through Verizon.
Oh, I wonder how long that contract. I mean, it's gotta be like a max 3 years, right?
I would think so.
Like, I can't see it being any longer than that.
That's what I thought too. And I'm like, these are old.
But then they probably go to Verizon. They're like, what's the oldest phone you have so we can upgrade this to the oldest phone possible?
Oh, right. Yeah, I have to think about that because the 10R was sold for a bit, I think, right? I mean,
yeah, it was sold after for a bit, yeah. But it was the like 10R and 11, and then just recently they got some of the newer, like the 14th and 15th.
That's crazy.
It's insane. It's insane.
Yeah, I would be interested to see how good the I was gonna say SE, but the 16E is gonna be, because I mean it looks good, and I really liked when I used like the standard 12 when that came out. It was actually like I liked the form factor, felt like a good phone. So I think it might be decent.
It looks really good. I mean, I think it looks really nice. If you were to put them side by side, it's obviously a pretty big upgrade in terms of like form factor, like the move away from the home button, which definitely missed the home button though. And then the USB-C is a huge addition. No MagSafe is still weird, but the new chip is going to be very interesting. I miss that home button. Like, I don't know what it is. Like,
do you?
Yeah. I think the problem with this is the fact that the form factor really is mostly the same as the iPhone 6. I mean, that's going back to like 2014. Yeah. And then the only real changes they made were the rear of the phone. Right. I mean, so like, and this is sad, I know this, but like the iPhone 7 had the home button that was not actually physically move. It didn't physically move. It was the capacitive with the Taptic engine. And then you had the change from aluminum to glass from the 7 to 8. Right. And that, you had wireless charging, all that stuff. And then you had the SE, the, first, second, and third. And then like this one, it's so weird seeing one of these with 5G. That's just, and then this with iOS 18.
Yeah, does the SE 3 has 5G, right?
Yeah, because it's got A13 or A14. But like, this is such a weird thing to see iOS 18 on. Like, it feels wrong. It's just like, look at it. It's a baby screen, but it's all custom. It just feels wrong. But
so strange.
The perk of it is like all the cases fit.
Right.
With all those accessories that come out, like you could buy cheap accessories. The biggest downfall, I think, with this phone is like, from a usability standpoint, it is different from, the current phones.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is the battery is like so small. You get only a couple hours with this. If you're a heavy user, you don't want one of these.
No, not at all. Yeah.
But I will say the 16E, I hope, is like the 10R. Like when I had the 10R a couple of years ago, the battery life on that was insane.
Right.
Because it had an LCD screen. It wasn't like the latest and greatest, but it was like the battery life on that was so good. It was a
Well, and then
basic phone.
you add that new modem too. Maybe that's going to also be helpful for battery. So
Yeah.
this could be like a battery powerhouse for a lot of people.
Well, that is
Yeah,
one thing.
and-
Like cellular is notorious for draining battery life. So
Yeah.
if it's more efficient, then yeah, that's going to be a huge game changer.
And
Yeah.
it was a great device, I think, to intro that new chip on, because it's really no loss to Apple if like that chip flops or there's issues. Like honestly, it's not going to hurt them at all if that were to happen.
Yeah,
No.
the subset of people that are actually going to have issues with it are going to be so small. It's like
Right.
it's not going to dent anything. Yeah.
Now, another thing about this one, this is a smaller phone. It's a 4.7-inch screen versus now, it starts at 6.1. And people, the thing I came across on Reddit, which surprised me, was the iPhone Mini folks. Like there is a dedicated following of 12 and 13 Mini folks, and they're like, I will not change from this phone. This is my favorite phone. And
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God.
I know it's such a small subset, but it's like, I honestly, this is nice. Like we have gotten so used to this, and this is like just giant.
Yeah.
Like if we could have a smaller phone that had good battery life and did everything I need, I would probably go to that too.
Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I
I
remember-
missed the smaller form factor. And then like you were saying earlier, like the older phones and stuff, it's like phones were so much more compact, like it made a lot more sense. And now like especially like a lot of times we're sitting in front of other screens, so it's like you don't always need that massive screen.
Right.
So I really miss the smaller form factor, especially one-handed use. It's great.
Yeah, I mean, God, you can't use these one-handed at all.
No.
I mean, even with
try
the
to reach
built-in,
the top of the S25 Ultra, it's just like
I can't.
impossible.
Like, I can't even reach the other side of the
Right.
of the display. Like it's awful. I mean, and then like luckily, I will say one thing on Android, I guess in general, is like the way that the gestures work versus the iPhone. Like on the iPhone you can slide to go back, but here you can swipe on either edge to go back.
Right. Yeah.
That I wish iPhone had that. That'd be amazing. But
Yeah,
that also
yeah.
helps with the usability for one-handed. But like, no, like these are not made for that at all.
No.
They're not made for that at all. But all companies are like 6 inches or more now. Is like
Right.
6 inches above is like the default.
I don't
It's like-
I don't know what the smallest phone right now would be. Like
Like the smallest flagship.
Yeah. I know Asus was working on their
right.
they
Yeah.
had a small flagship at one point. I don't know what happened to that.
Yeah, the Zen
uh,
phone series, and then they actually ended
right.
up moving. I think with the latest one, they moved to a much larger display, and people like were livid because like
Yeah.
I don't even know what that was about. I like smaller
Something
smaller.
size.
something. But yeah, I mean, if we're even talking about like the most recent release, like the
'Cause,
6E,
the regular S25 is also like 6.1, isn't it?
yeah,
I'm
they're
trying
all
to
pretty
think
much
if there's
standard.
any small phones anymore.
I mean, like the 13R is 6.78 inches.
That's
Like
not-
I heard that they were considering doing a smaller phone, but the
Yeah.
smaller phone was still 6 inches, and I'm like, that's not what we mean. That's not what we mean.
What's the size of the standard S25, like the base one?
I think
I
it
got you.
I think it is 6.1. It is, or if it's 6.2.
Oh,
So it's
wow.
actually, yeah, it's actually larger than the.
Man, I
see.
just want a small phone.
I loved the regular S24. That was great. Like, I
Yeah,
would have maimed
yeah.
that thing. That was
What
like
was the
perfect.
size? What was the
Uh,
size of that one?
That was 6.2.
I think also what helps that is the bezel and everything is like kind of reduced for them now. But
Yeah.
at the same time, like you could go smaller.
Right.
Like I think a 5 or 5.5 inch, like that would be fine.
It is.
I mean,
It is
just-
crazy though. I get the like. There's not a huge difference between the 60 hertz and 120 hertz. Like personally, I don't notice it unless you go. So like on the regular 16, I didn't notice the difference, but on the 16 plus, it's unbearable. I could not use the 16 plus. The 120
Yeah.
hertz on the large or the 60 hertz on the larger display was garbage. Like it's
I
not
just-
terrible on the smaller one, but
I just genuinely don't understand how they can't include that on their lower end phones. Like they are just reaching for a difference between the Pro and the non-Pro.
The best
Well,
example is the CMF phone. The CMF phone is $238, 120 hertz display. That doesn't make any sense to me. It's
like, there's no
100.
reason.
Yeah, it's $230.
And the price difference between the panel is probably like negligible. Like it is,
Oh, yeah.
or maybe it's even the same panel. They just didn't enable it in software.
Right. Yeah. It doesn't.
Because I mean,
it doesn't
they
make
could
sense.
buy it in bulk. It doesn't make any sense to me. It really doesn't.
Yeah.
You know, the other thing I will say, like, again, I really like this phone. I do like the phone. Don't get me wrong. But like, Samsung still does that default to display to 1080p. Like, why?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. You always have
And
to
then-
go into settings. As soon as you unbox it and set it up, it's like immediately
Yeah.
to settings to get the highest
The
version
QHD
of-
plus.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, why? It doesn't make
It's so
any
weird
sense.
to do that. I mean, is the battery life like savings? Is that like enough to where they would? you
Like,
know?
I'm not
I
gonna
mean,
lie to you. So
Right.
I'm in a weird, like, and Drew, maybe you got to use it more to the point where like you were able to test the battery but for me, I now where I work, I can't use my phone all day. So it sits in
So
a
your
cabinet.
battery is probably pretty
It's
solid.
fine. I get down to maybe 70% at the end of the day because I
Yeah.
only check my phone every now and again. And then half the building doesn't have service. So it doesn't matter.
the S25 Ultra, I'll say, it got me about 10 to 15% more battery than the S24 Ultra, which was really good on battery. However, nothing right now is touching the OnePlus right now. Like OnePlus has nailed just battery in general.
Did you get the new one
Yeah.
from them?
Yeah.
Not the
Yeah.
13R, but the other one?
Yeah. The 13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did
And
you, like,
I could have went 3 days on battery on that thing. It's insane. Like I went
was the
to-
overall experience good? Like,
yeah, and like for the price, like it's pretty solid. The cameras are somehow worse than the previous OnePlus, and I've seen like
Really?
mixed. Yeah, I've seen people say like they love the cameras, but if you take a photo from a OnePlus device and you send it to another device, it looks awful. Or if you pull it up on like social or on the computer and like
Oh.
try to blow it up, you immediately lose all the detail. And so, and I've heard like mixed feelings on that. I've heard some people love the camera, some people are like, no, it's worse than the previous one. So I don't know. For
Really?
me, it was worse than
the 12
OnePlus
was really
One.
good when I had it.
Yeah.
I thought it was a really fantastic camera. And like, I think it was what the 10X lens was really good.
Yeah, but I like for the price, I think the 13 gives you a ton of value, and like the
Yeah.
display is great. The hardware is super durable. The IP69 rating, like everything it comes with is really solid.
I saw someone say something about the design of it, and I was like, really? Like, that blue looks really good, and at least it's dark. These light pastel colors, I'm so tired. I'm so tired of it.
So
Like, Apple's
stupid. I
doing
just
it,
want a
Samsung's
nice
doing
color,
it.
man.
Samsung, why would you put that really nice blue on just the S25 and S25 Plus and not your? Why?
I was
These are
really
good.
hoping for some good colors on the S25 Ultra, and then when I
They're all
went to buy it,
terrible.
I'm like, what
Dude.
do I get? Like these are awful.
Now, one thing I will say about the camera on this, and this is apparently a common problem with past Samsungs too, is like action shots. You cannot take a quick picture because it looks like ass. Excuse
Yeah.
my friends. It looks like ass. But like the camera's great, but it looks like if I try to take a picture of my dog outside, nope.
Right.
And then I'm still waiting for the first update for this, which I hope fixes some things. But like the difference. So I'm one of the types where I will hold down the shutter to do a video instead of going to video. Like if I'm
Right.
on, I open the camera and I just hold it down. The lag to start a video, to start
Yeah.
recording a video versus iPhone, like, ooh, that little bit of time,
Yeah.
that alone.
Yeah.
If they fix that, that would make a huge difference. But like that alone, it's and again, like I said, like it's little things.
It's little things, yeah. Well, and that
It
was
really-
the thing for me. It's like all the little things start to add up. Like I missed the zoom. Like I like having the zoom lens on the S25 Ultra. Like that's great.
Yeah.
But it's like all the little things start to add up, and it's like all
Yep.
these little annoyances go away if I'm just on an iPhone or if I pick up like another phone. Like a lot of those went away. Whereas Samsung, it's like very specific quirks that kind of just drive me nuts. That if
Yeah.
they just fixed it, it would be perfect.
Also, another thing I can't stand, like, and I'm sure I can take this off or move it, but to access Samsung Pay,
Yeah.
I'm using the gestures, the gesture bars right here. I try to open something and whoop,
Yeah.
then it opens up my credit card, and I'm like,
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can remove that. But yeah,
I
it's,
probably
it's
will.
annoying. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like there's just
But again,
there's a
that's
lot.
a difference. Like Apple Pay, like that double tap on the power
Yeah.
key, but then with this, it's camera, and I'm like, oh god, just
Well,
like
then the fact that they didn't really change the cameras between the S24 Ultra and the S25 Ultra, that kind of really irritated me because there were just certain lighting situations where the S25 Ultra, S24 Ultra just weren't that great for most photos, especially just point and shoot. Like, hey, like you said, if I want to take a picture, like maybe my cat runs by or something, I want to take a picture. It's not going to happen. It's going to be a blurry, dark mess, and I need another phone to get that photo. So it's super frustrating.
Yeah. Like, I mean, and the example I can give you, like, I could literally go back and look. I think I kept them, but when it snowed the first time, you know, like I have the camera on the dogs and like nothing. Like it's just like a little blur.
It's like an oil painting.
It's
Oh, it's so
terrible.
bad.
And then it would focus on the wrong part of the dog.
Right.
And I'm like, you know, and funny enough, like I remember doing the same thing with the iPhone, and the iPhone would fit, you know, it'd figure it out. And like again, like you can get some really good shots on this.
Oh yeah.
But it comes down to like the little things. And I mean, like I've been using this every day. Like this is my phone now. Like I use this every day. So like you know, I'm doing everything from going on Reddit, watching videos on TikTok, watching videos on Instagram, YouTube Music, email. I mean, my car stuff is on. Everything is on here, and most everything is like 90% there. It's like 90% there, but like those little things, like I completely understand. And the other thing I'll say too is like when I switched, like the Android hate, when I stopped having blue messages, oh my God, I was like, what is going on? I was like, hey, I have RCS, it's fine. And they're like, no, you got rid of iMessage, you're garbage now.
It's definitely not the same because like my wife was on Android for like a while now, like between that S23 and S24. So it was like for me, it always drove me nuts when I wasn't also on Android because the experience of RCS still isn't the same as it is on iMessage.
No.
So yeah, and like you were saying too, like the group chats, like if you try to move group chats, it's a nightmare. It's not great.
And funny enough, like I turned off iMessage on my phone and that was all I had it on, but I had to literally go deregister it because I wasn't getting messages for days. And then come to find out that I've been trying to message you and I was like, really? And it was going to the other phone and I'm like, this is garbage. Like, and it took days to finally get, you know, everything to work. And I'm like, man, they probably think I'm dead. Like, you know, like I'm not answering any messages anymore. But
so how much longer do we have until you switch back to the 16?
you know, part of me actually thought about switching to the 16E and just seeing how it goes.
Just
because
yeah,
I mean, like, I think at the end of the day, like all of us, you know, on here, we get the flagship, we get the biggest flagship, the most expensive phone. Like, and have any of us tried a cheaper phone just to see if the experience is the same? Like, I know, Drew, you mentioned like the 60 hertz. That's gonna hurt my soul. That's gonna hurt my soul. The lack of MagSafe is gonna hurt my soul. But at the end of the day, like,
dude,
but if you get a MagSafe case, I mean, I'm wondering how much you'll notice it. Like, yeah, you'll notice like the slower charging speeds, but for me personally, like the only time I really charge is when I put it on like a MagSafe at night before bed or whatever, and I'll top off the phone. So it's like I don't think it'll be a huge issue. Like, because I'm also going to switch to it and see just how well it goes, because I want to test out the modem, and the only way to do that, I feel like, is to take it everywhere with you to get like the full experience. Because I like, for example, like Pixel has been notorious for tensor and the modems having issues. And it's better on the 9 series, but previous Pixels, it wasn't great. And I would go to Target and just immediately lose service. And so like, I want to test it in places like that, where it's like, I know service is spotty, just to see how it performs. And then the smaller form factor.
I thought about moving to this. Now this actually has there's a weird thing, and this could be a me issue. Now I put a screen protector on every phone, right? And I put a screen protector on the Samsung. And one thing I noticed is like the fingerprint sensor is not great, but I re-registered my finger after I put the screen protector on, thinking that would
you increase the sensitivity?
I didn't know that was a thing. See, and this is why I can't claim to know everything. I'm not the smartest cookie. But like the Pixel for some reason, like the fingerprint sensor with a screen protector works so fast
Yeah.
compared to this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so sensitivity I need to turn on.
Yeah,
Like,
you gotta do the increased sensitivity, and then it'll.
Okay.
You just type in increased sensitivity, I think, in the settings, like search settings, and you'll
Yeah.
find
Yeah,
it.
that sounds right.
But it's no, the Pixel's really solid. Like honestly, I really liked the Pixel 9 series, and I just kept going back to it for some reason. But yeah, I think the 16E, I think using that for a while as my main, just to see how it goes. It'll be interesting. But if you're not using your phone all day, like I feel like the
Yeah, it won't
16E is kind of
affect
an
me that
ideal
much.
phone for you, to be honest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, like, I will say, like, the Samsung I've never gotten it down below like 50% because
Yeah.
I just don't use my phone as much as I did before. And honestly, it's a little bit freeing because I think we're all kind of tied to our phones. So it's been kind of nice. Now, one thing I've had to start doing is, you get so used to, like, say, Drew, like I used to work at home, like you do,
Yeah.
and like you can have your phone to take notes. You can have your
Right.
phone to type something up. I have to write physical notes now on notepads. I hate it. I hate it so much.
You're like
But I
time
have-
traveling. You're talking about iPhone XRs and taking personal
Yeah.
notes on paper.
Taking notes, dude.
I went back in time. Like
Man,
I have to
take it with
carry.
you.
I have to carry a notebook with me
Right.
all the time. It's insane. I will say though, funny enough, like I had to get like a really nice pen. It got me back into like pens. I was like, oh man, like you get a really nice, like a
I
really
just
good
picture
pen.
Ian with like a big quill, like pen, like
know.
trying to.
Let me get my feather quill and my
Here, family.
here. And then next you're gonna be like chiseling stone,
Yeah.
just
Okay.
time traveling.
Crazy how long this was. Yes. It is 51 minutes. If you're still here, thank you for staying. I
It's
have
been
no
a
idea if we're
while.
actually entertaining. But it's good. It's good. Like I know one thing I didn't get to do this year, and Drew, you didn't go either. CES.
Yeah.
This guy over here, or wherever he is, he went. So
Somewhere.
I want to go next year, Drew. We should all go. Bring the wife, leave the kids.
I'll bring the wife and then leave all the kids here for sure.
It's fine. You've got one that can watch the rest.
And so
Yeah.
far, I have nothing for work right now in January. So, as provided that keeps
Good.
happening, we're good
Okay,
this
good.
year.
Okay,
I'm not
good.
100% Sure on my attendance for next year.
You will
so-
definitely be going. You said the same
Dude,
thing last year,
it's
or you said the same
the-
thing this year.
Yes, but like, dude, 4 years in a row, man, I need a break.
Michael,
Well,
you'll
we
be
got to go
fine.
somewhere else then.
Yeah,
Well, no, see-
let's go somewhere else between the 3rd and the 9th of January for 2026. Please.
No, we're
Anywhere.
going to CES.
I will go
Here's the
back.
thing.
No, I will go to that hotel where the coffee cup. I gladly. Dude, it is so boring now. It's literally
no.
if you've gone in 2023 with me, it's the exact same thing.
I know,
2020.
but you do remember I got you coffee multiple times. I think that helped.
And how much, Ian? I'm gonna be honest. I need more
Fine.
than
We
coffee.
could
I need
hit up
He's gonna
New
need-
York
He's gonna
again.
need a little liquor in his coffee. He'll
We'll
be
just
fine.
hit up New York again, and we'll stay at the same hotel and get a
He'll be
vodka.
fine.
Please. That was a
Oh
more
my
enjoyable
God.
experience.
You know what? It's so funny. Like, I didn't even think about like the fact that I'm in a different place now, and that other people I've interacted with online actually go to the same places. And I'm like, you know what? When he said that, I was like, well, I did. I guess I need to announce it. I'm going to announce it next time. Next time, I'm like, hey, I'm at the Washington Convention Center.
You're just doxing
I'm
yourself.
standing at booth
to the
B.
world.
Like,
He just shares his location from his phone. Please
oh my god,
track
on
me.
Twitter. Oh my no.
Find my link.
No, absolutely not. No. Oh, she said, provided I don't need
jeez.
surgery again. You know what? Like, if we gotta like push you around, roll you around on a scooter or something, like I'm fine with that.
Look,
I'm fine with
Cassandra,
that.
we have accommodations. We are ADA certified. We have everything.
Do we get special treatment?
Absolutely.
Yes, you get front of the line. You get front of the
Right.
line at every
That
building.
sounds great.
Oh my god. What deductible?
When she gets that's so I always try to plan her
Oh.
surgeries. I'm like, yo, if you have surgery, let's do it for
How much is your-
January. Then
How much is your
basically-
deductible?
Well, so basically what would happen is because our deductible is really low, because like we have pretty solid insurance.
Yeah.
Basically, she would get a surgery in January and we would hit our deductible by February. Like family deductible. So then the whole year I'm not paying for like
Oh, that'd be nice.
medications or anything. It's
Risk-
great.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
So every January, like
You schedule it on purpose. You're like, all right, you're
Yep.
getting it right now.
It's like-
As soon as it changes over.
yeah,
Oh my god. All
Yeah,
right,
it's
mistress.
true. They're very expensive surgeries when she does get them.
Yes, yes. It's all spinal surgeries. All right. Well, we're gonna put you in a cast, and you'll be standing straight up, like in the chair, very stiff, and we won't bump you into anything on
Oh,
purpose,
perfect.
All the things.
possibly on accident, but we still love you.
We're gonna go to like a phone booth, like a Motorola phone booth, and like leave Cassandra in the corner talking to the PR person, and just kind of forget her.
No, she'll be like, "Can you show me all the purple colors you have?" Oh my god, that's great. All right, so should I open this? Should I open this on camera?
Sure.
This old phone. I'm gonna come upstairs and yell at y'all. Please do.
She's gonna come to
Please
my
do.
cabin. My cabin in the woods here.
All right,
Your
so
AI generated cabin. Yeah.
God, I keep buying old phones, so we're gonna unbag, I guess. 'cause
You know,
it's not
Ian, you aren't
possible.
the only person. I've decided to start slowly getting back into it, and I've got a few
Good.
phones in the way. So
Well, see, no, Michael, you need to give me tips because you find unique and rare phones.
I'm getting back on a roll, dude. The
You've got
king
like
of
a
eBay
treasure
finds.
trove. All right, what do we well, number one, can we okay, yes. You know what? Hey, maybe I will. Maybe I will. All right, guess what it is in the comments. Let's guess. What phone did Ian buy? What stupid old phone did Ian buy? All right, I'm going to give you like a hint. I think 2015 is when this came out.
2015.
2015?
What did you
I feel like
buy?
it's older than that, but maybe.
Is it?
Yeah,
I did tell you
you're
guys
talking
what
about
it
the one
was.
you put in the
Yeah.
group chat, right?
Yes.
Dude,
yes.
that thing's like
Is it older than that?
I
feel
think like
it is.
2010, bro. Like, I
Dude,
think
No,
it's-
no. It's not
16
that
gigs,
old.
dude.
Wait, which one is it?
No. Shh.
Oh,
Don't say
I'm
it.
looking in the chat.
2013.
Yeah,
You-
I was
okay.
gonna say I thought it was like a while ago.
2010.
Yeah, that sounds.
All right. If you've been watching me, you know that I bought one of these already. I guess you don't watch my channel. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
You make
It's all
videos,
love.
Ian? What?
It's all love, yeah. And then the other person with the name I'm not going to say said the iPhone 4S. No, I have too many of those. Something is a great guess. That's a great guess. All right. Also said 5C. I have a 5C already. I actually want to, I don't know if I can find them now, but I would love to buy every single color of the 5C. Apple, bring those colors back. Those were fine. People love that. The 5C colors were great.
The 5C colors were great.
He's just playing. It's a.
It's the feather and quill.
No, it's not. All right. It is. Why? Wait, hold on a second.
With the
Oh, the
scam.
sticker
It's
is
so funny.
the sticker. Hold on, the sticker's
there a
wrong
napkin
on
in
this. No. It says okay. So on the back it says Droid Max, and then it says Droid Ultra. Like,
That's
no.
weird.
Yeah. Also, I've been buying from the same eBay seller for a while, but I hate
Oh,
the
no.
stickers. It
Yeah.
drives me insane. I have to use rubbing alcohol to get these
Yeah,
off.
you gotta get some good old ice purple on
Man,
that.
that's crazy.
get
That's-
the residue off.
Yeah. But carbon fiber. Oh man, what a
Sporty.
What a-
Wow.
yeah.
Man, I don't miss charging
BlackBerry.
those things.
No, because it's micro USB. Which
Yeah,
is just
micro
doo-doo
USB is the
now.
worst.
Oh, you still have a micro
I-
USB cable in 2025?
I knew.
Yeah,
A big
they're
old
all
year
knew.
of 25.
All right, hold on. He knows the seller. Hold on, he knows the seller. See, and no, but he knows the sticker. That's hilarious. All right, say who it is. Say who it is. Put it in the comment. If you know, I know who it is because I buy from them all the time. No, I'm not gonna lie. He finds really good deals and it pisses me off. Michael does too. Y'all are really good at that. I
I've
know
just been out
who
of the
sells-
game for like a good
Oh
4
my
years.
god!
Oh,
that is
dude, I know those
amazing.
guys. I have those saved as a seller on mine too.
I do too.
So do
bought it
I.
from them. I
I
bought
just
the last
checked. I've
4
gotten
from them.
4 phones from there.
That's so
And the
funny.
way I do this,
I know
you're-
that name.
You're gonna judge me for this, but like I will find a phone I want. I'll add it to my list. I won't add it to my cart, and I wait until it offers me like 5% off, and then I'll buy it.
Bro.
It's only
Classic
$30.
Ian.
Like I'm such a cheap ass. I can't help it, dude.
Get
It's
his
like it's that
$2 off
old
of his
man
phone.
Ian again.
It really is. They're like, we know this guy. We know this guy.
They
All
have
right,
you
let's
on
see.
speed print on that.
All right, let's see. Does it have battery? Does it? Oh, it does. I'm impressed.
Well, they do have to test it, you know.
He does it too. I love it. Oh,
What is that? Android 4.2?
it's probably let's say 6.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say 6.
No, out of the.
Six?
I mean, unless they updated it, but I think it released with 4.2.2 something weird.
He's gonna ruin my vibe right now. An LG Wing for $25 is diabolical. 4.1. Hold on. All right, let's see.
I'm thinking it's
All right,
Android
let's
4.2.
guess. Let's guess.
Yeah.
What do you
Yeah.
think? Based on this, what do we think?
4.2 still. Yeah.
God, Drew, you have no faith. You have little faith. Hold
It
on.
just has
let's
that
see.
jelly bean feel.
Your
Yeah,
phone
I
needs a
see it.
SIM card to work. Yeah, well,
Well,
no
Good luck
dip.
with that.
Oh my god,
Am I right?
I hate you.
is it 4.2?
It's 4.4.4.
Ah, nice.
Oh.
So
my
they
God.
updated
In
it.
2013.
Wow.
Why does
It
that feel
released-
like?
It
That's
got
Yeah, jelly
two
bean is-
and a half
yeah.
updates.
Yeah,
That
that's all
feels
I remember.
wrong.
You know what stood out to me is that the bottom row and the home button to get to the app drawer or whatever.
God, I mean, look at the old messages icon
Yeah.
and everything. Like
yeah,
that
that's
is
jelly bean all the
Oof.
way. Like,
dude. You know.
Kit
You
Kat.
guys know. That's great. I will say these older phones, some of them have really good screens. Like
oh yeah.
why is the color on an older phone like better than a newer one? I don't get that. Also, hold on.
No, that Android beep.
Right,
Like
that was
a
awful.
rush of memories back.
Dude, I
miss
love
that
this.
phone so much. That was my favorite phone for so long.
When I posted this went crazy on Twitter. I was
Yeah.
shocked. I am still gonna call it Twitter. I don't care. This went crazy on Twitter though, but I forgot about the Moto Maker.
Yeah.
Like you remember the
And
Moto Maker, and they
To
had
get
all
that
those.
phone, Ian, I
Yeah.
drove like an hour and a half somewhere to trade some guy at a carrier store. And then I had to sit at the carrier store for like 3 hours because the guy wasn't the primary on the account and his wife was the holder of the account. And they
Dude.
were like in a fight or something. And she was like, no, I'm not giving you the code. You can just sit there. And I'm like, come on.
Drew,
So
you
I-
doing these back alley phone deals concerns me.
I just
It really
remember that.
does.
But what's funny is I think I traded the guy like it was an awful trade. Like I got
What
such
did
a
you give
great
him?
deal. A phone much older than that one.
I
But he
hope
didn't
this
like
guy's
it.
not watching. I hope he's not watching. He
It's
probably
fine.
is.
I wonder if he's still alive, dude.
He's probably still using the phone I traded him. It's okay.
Oh my god. But no, like, is this not like such a nice design? Like, it's got
Yeah.
like this really nice curve. It's got real wood. You have the dimple for your finger. Like,
Well, and you could mix and match the front plate. You didn't have to get the white with the bamboo. You could get black with the bamboo. You could like
Yep.
mix it up. And that was around the time I think that was
14.
back to when Apple had the weird colors, like
yeah, it was.
it was like the different color. And so people really gravitated towards that because you could fully customize it.
And now, what happened? Why we went from carbon fiber and wood and all kinds of cool stuff to like these boring pasta. What happened?
Yeah.
Like, it is garbage. Are we that boring now?
Yeah.
Also, my Note 3 display is so much. I will say, like, one of my favorites was the Note 2, which I have on the floor somewhere. I have so many phones in this room. It is a cluster. But the Note 2, the reason I love that was because my my AGM, when I worked at a hotel, she had one. And I had the iPhone 5 at the time, or iPhone 5S. No, this was 2012, 13. Yeah. So I had iPhone 5 and I was like, oh my God, that thing is huge. I was like, that thing is huge. And I was blown away. And I was like, I want a screen this big. And that was only 5.5 inches.
Yeah.
And now look at us, 7, just giant slabs. Like,
I want to go back. It's so bad.
like what a weird time. No, I mean, you go and like hold an iPhone 5 or 5S
Yeah.
and like you're like, I mean,
it's such
God,
a
it
big
is
difference.
so small.
Yeah.
It feels like a baby phone, but like that was so much more pocketable and nice.
And other phones, like you said, were so cool back then. Like they mentioned, like the
Yeah.
LG Wing, that was like probably the last cool form factor, and then LG just died after that. It's like,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Doesn't it make you kind of sad that like they left the phone market after
Yeah.
they tried all these cool things and people just weren't with it, and then here we are a couple years later and we're like reminiscing about them, like,
Yeah.
man, what
Like,
cool
the
stuff
thing is
they
like
came.
they only tried it for like what, a year? I mean, they had the LG Roll that never launched, and then they have the
Yeah.
LG Wing that
Yeah.
did launch with their Velvet series. And if I feel like if they had kept doing the Velvet and kept doing the Wing, you know, Wing 2, Velvet 2, that could have genuinely taken off as like a good carrier phone.
Yeah. And not
Like,
only that, like, not only were they like great like devices, but they were also really great to work with. Like LG was
Yeah.
like honestly
operating
like one
system
of the
was
best
good.
brands I've ever worked with in my life. Like really
too.
excellent brand. So
Yeah.
it's unfortunate.
I think with LG too, like the problem nowadays is like the landscape before, there were so many players out there that there were so like endless options, but nobody really had to undercut anybody else. Like there were something for everybody. But I feel like we're in a time now where like there's very few phone companies and the big players are the only ones that really get the market share. And then LG wasn't in that anymore. Like LG back used to be huge. Like they were big.
Oh yeah.
But then they lost market share and it was Samsung and Apple. Like if you go,
well, they were big
anywhere.
with the LG G4, the LG G3, like those were huge devices.
The G3, when I posted that video popped off. They were like, I love that phone. But you had a healthy debate in there. People were like, that thing boot looped like a bitch. Like
I forgot about that. They did.
Yeah.
But people love that. They were like, oh, I had the G2, I had the G4. People are like reminiscing. They're like, oh, I miss LG. And I'm like, well, then why'd you let him die? Why'd you let him get out of the market? You know, like, also surprisingly affordable.
Yeah, like
I mean,
but like you said, there were so many different options. Like even going further back, like we had so many different variants of devices. Like, and the pricing was drastically different. That's a whole nother thing.
That was when we had maybe that was one of the differences too, is like we had 2-year contracts and they subsidized part of the cost. And now you have like Verizon doing like 36-month, But the other thing,
like, oh, we'll give you bill credits.
Dude, I hate the bill credits. And you remember like with bill credits, what they did was you could still pay it off early. Yeah. But now they don't let you pay it off early if you're getting bill credits.
Wait,
you just
mail-in rebates, Ian.
Drew, why did you remind me of that? Drew came out with a video recently. Please go watch his video. This man's talking about mail-in rebates. I was like, instantly, I was like, damn, Radio Shack. And like back in my day,
when it launched, $80, man. I looked and I was like, there's no way. Like, and no, it's like that's how much they were retailing for back then. Like, and I was looking at other old phones. Like, do you remember like some of the Samsungs, like the Samsung Juke? Like some of those crazy like
the little thin one that flipped up and it was just like for music and stuff.
Yeah, all those crazy form factors, and they were like $90 like
the
back
LG
then.
chocolate.
Yeah.
Oh no. But here's the thing. I bought, and like this is gonna show my age, but like there was the Sony Walkman phones, and I remember going to Best Buy and I bought it outright. Like I had never bought a phone outright. I had always gotten on contract. And like it was a little slide phone. It was $300. And that was $300 back then. And I'm like, God, that's insane. But like, before back when they had contracts, you could get something for like $1. And then
exactly.
But I feel like we all got screwed because they used to subsidize part of the phone. Yeah. And the phone plan was expensive. Right. But now you have nothing subsidized unless you get bill credits. And then you pay a still expensive plan. Yeah. Like it boggles my mind.
And the devices now are like $1,500. It makes no sense.
Dude, I have an S24 Ultra taking up my business line for the next 2 years because I decided to do a trade-in deal through AT&T. I hate this. I don't even have the phone anymore.
It's brutal.
Oh my God.
Like, I'm just stuck with it now, so I'm never doing that again.
Cassandra, what is the Clio? What is that?
Didn't we look at this at one point? I think we did like a stream where we looked it up. Why
was the first thing I thought about was Miss Clio? Hey, it's Miss Cleo. Okay, that was terrible. Just ignore that. That didn't happen. Okay, that's a weird phone. It's like a flip phone with a QWERTY keyboard. What a strange.
Yeah, I totally remember looking for this at one point, like
Yeah,
one
yeah.
of these streams. Yeah.
Now, okay, hold on. Oh, skill issue. Stop it. All right, now you might be able to help me find this. Here is my request for you. Now, again, this shows my age. Back in 2007, I did not buy the first iPhone because I was poor, but I did buy a Samsung flip phone that was really cool, and it was so you could flip it like a normal flip phone, and each of the keys was an e-ink display. And so it would have numbers when you flipped it up normal.
Yeah.
And then you'd flip it closed and flip it up the other way.
Yeah.
And it would flip up and show a QWERTY keyboard.
Right.
And if I can find that phone, it was an SGH 407 or some stupid name because God, Samsung, you couldn't come up with a better name for that. But like that phone was so cool. And if I could find that, it was plastic, it was a terrible build.
So was that the one that they initially had it as the Samsung Alias, but then they changed it? It was like the Samsung SCH U7 something.
It was like SCH 407 or some crazy
I had that
name.
same phone. Yeah. I had that same phone. So
UCH U750 right here.
Yep.
Released in 09.
Yep. I still had that.
Hold on. UCH what?
It's
U750.
U750. Yep.
U750. Okay, U750. Let me see if that's it.
Yeah.
That's the one. That's the one.
I had that same one. That phone was so cool.
That was like such a cool phone. Go.
That's funny.
Hold on. The cat wants to leave. Hold on.
That's funny.
My cat will literally just sit at the door and she will just meow until someone opens it.
So Ian, at launch, that phone was $79.99 for a 2-year contract price. The Alias
I bought it on Verizon. Alias 2.
Yes, that's what it was called.
Was it just called it was the Alias 2.
So Verizon rebranded it as the Alias 2. I don't think Samsung
I did not have the Alias 2. I had the Alias 1.
The first one, yeah.
Yeah, I did not have this one.
Yeah, I had the first one also. But yeah, it was $79 and it was for the 2-year contract.
But
that's insane.
The funniest thing was this was back when Verizon had such control over the OS that they had this default OS. It was ugly as crap. And like everything was the same.
Do you remember Verizon TV?
Oh my God. You remember the one with the antenna? Like
antenna? Yeah.
Dude, why? And
then I was like, what are you guys talking about right
dude,
now?
You are so old. It's
he just hears like rotary phone.
Literally.
Hey,
let me share my screen real quick. I got
let me just tell you. Okay, hold on. Let me just tell you this, by the way. Like, I work with people that are some are my age, but oh man, $30, but no battery.
Yeah, looks like it's pretty mint. It's got a battery in it.
Oh, does it have battery?
Yeah.
Send it to me.
Oh no, no, Ian, forget I showed. No, I didn't show you this. No, stop.
Send it to me, please.
Stop buying
my
useless
addiction.
stuff. No,
I need it.
You know what? No,
oh
I'm
my
gonna send you
God.
a commission link. Screw
Born
this.
in 2007. I am old. I'm old.
I remember 2007. I'm
if you're
surprised.
Born in 2007. You're 18. Oh my God. Oh my God.
I graduated then.
That's disgusting. That's just. I need to leave. $50. It better not be $50. I will. Okay, if Michael sends me the $30 one, I'm buying it.
Fucking God. Okay, I'm gonna make a commission link, so that way I'm at least getting something.
There
off
we go.
This is,
Your commission is my friendship. Your
Beautiful.
commission is my friendship. Oh my God, is she there? Hi, it's me, Miss Cleo.
What? Wait, what are you talking about? Did I miss something?
You didn't see her Samsung, or was it a Samsung Clio, or what was it called? Yeah,
no. I was feeding your addiction. Hold on, let me just finish.
Cassandra's in the room. We just can't see her because there's a background. There's a background.
She's not.
Is she on the fake couch?
No, she's not in the AI cabin yet. She's still downstairs.
Oh, okay.
What? Oh, now you're seeing things.
Oh yeah. Send me your Howl link. I'll happily give you 5%.
Dude, there you go. It's forwarded over ASAP.
Drew, I know Drew made money with that Howl link. No one clicked my damn link. No one.
That's crazy.
No one clicked it. No one likes me.
Oh
It's
man,
fine.
I
It's
did.
fine.
I did great with that. Yeah,
I'm
she's
sorry. Am I not more important than a video game?
Not Red
get your
Dead.
ass. No, get your ass up there. No,
Not
what are you
Red
doing?
Dead for her.
No, Ian, sorry.
Wow, that's crazy. Hold on. Now I'm wondering if this came out like a year before this came out a year before this one. I'm wondering if it
Yeah.
has that stupid the little shaking thing. It does. It does. Oh my god. Hold on. Does it have the chop? No. I like the chop flashlight. That's cool.
I'm gonna
This has
send
the
you
twisty
something.
camera.
They still have those features, by the way. Motorola still
Really?
has those options. Yeah.
No one buys Motorola phones anymore.
Hey, Ian, I'm
they?
gonna send you something. Speaking of Howell, I'm gonna text you something.
I heard your bones
If
creak
you
when
send me
did
like
action there.
if you send
with
me a
that
screenshot
Motorola.
of like you making $1,000, I'm gonna be pissed.
No, but you'll love.
Oh
love
yeah,
this.
no, that is insane. I got that email too. I
I think
almost wanted to start doing it, but
I think it's
no.
because I don't think the S25 series is selling very well. But
oh, absolutely not. It's literally the exact same phone. I mean,
yeah,
You got an email with that?
yeah,
It was 40%
Yeah.
before.
yeah. It just keeps
there
going
isn't
up.
even more.
I'm waiting for like 100% at this point. Like, give away these phones.
Michael, that's not exactly mint, but I'll still buy it.
Dude.
That's probably as close as you can get to mint for.
You're
No,
you're
seriously.
right, because I mean I'm
The thing is
I'm
from
kind of-
2009. Ian.
So what was your first iPhone then? Because for me it was the 4S. Because I couldn't get the first one; it's too expensive, and then I didn't get an iPhone until the 4S.
So my first iPhone was a 3G, and I bought it. So funny enough, like when I saw the first iPhone, I wasn't that impressed. My friend had one, and he got it, and I was like, it came with all the stuff, like the first one came with like the dock and all the stuff, and I was like, this phone's kind of crap. So I had the Razr 2. Yeah, I had the Razr 2 at the time, and I thought I was the shit. No, I was not. But in 2008, after the 3G came out, I was like, okay, it looks like it's better. And then it was only $200 on contract.
Right.
And so my best friend's mom let me get on their AT&T plan because I couldn't get a plan on my own.
Nice.
I had no credit, Michael. They wouldn't give me a phone. So I got on her plan
Okay.
and it was like $80 a month. I had no business having that at that time. I made no money.
$80 a month. Wait, in 2009, dude.
2008.
Sorry. That's even worse.
I can look at my tax return and tell you I probably made like $27,000 that year. I probably made that much. Like I made nothing. Like I that's sad, but
With
like,
inflation, that's like almost $120 now a month.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%. Hold on, I can tell you exactly how much I made that year because I was broke.
That's
I was
crazy.
broke.
Yeah, $80. Like, yeah, I didn't get one until I had an iPhone 4 for a bit, but I didn't really use it that long. But then Cass and I both, that was our first iPhones. We got the 4S. And because before that we were on BlackBerry because she was still in Canada too, and like BBM was like the only way to message for free. So
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so are you ready? Are you ready for the grand total I made in 2008? $28,487. Yeah. Yeah.
So all of that went to an iPhone.
Yeah. And I spent half of it on an iPhone.
Could be worse, I guess. Maybe, I don't know.
It's true.
The year of the recession, you decided to buy an iPhone 3. We're so back in.
Yeah. I mean, I thought that thing was great though. And it's so funny because like the cool thing is like on an Apple account, you can go all the way back and see what you first got, like the first apps you got.
Oh yeah.
And like that was the saddest thing. Like if you ever go back, I couldn't even afford a real iPod. So I bought my first iPod. No, I got a Nano for Christmas one year, like when I was young, like much younger.
That's what I got was the Nano. I still have my Nano actually.
Yeah, it was like a 2 gig Nano.
Yeah.
And it was like silver. It was really cute. It was a good iPod. And then in 2009 or 10, I got a Classic. It was like, the last one that they had with, the
was it the Classic
gig.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah. And then I was the type of person, like, I always had an obnoxious case on everything. So I had this ugly ass case, and that thing was mint. The back of it, not a scratch on the stainless steel. That thing looked mint. So, and then I remember trading it in. I don't think, maybe I didn't trade it in, maybe I sold it, but I got an iPod Touch 3rd generation.
Ooh, the third
And I got
gen.
that, yeah. I got an iPod Touch 3rd generation. And I actually went lower in storage. And I was like, why did I do that? That iPod Classic was fine. Like, there's actually somebody I work with that had an iPod Classic. And there are reasons that you can use that in my office. Drew would understand.
Yeah.
But I was shocked. He brought that in and had a speaker connected to it. And I was like, that's the ultimate cheat code.
Right.
That's the ultimate cheat code. Because
That's
we can't
awesome.
have any devices in there.
Right.
And I
I
was
was
like-
want an iPod Classic, dude.
No, it was
It's
so
gen.
good. It was so good. Michael, like, I had it in my car. Like, I didn't have a touch screen in my car back then. I
I would
had,
hope not. I mean, that was 2010.
All we had was the aux.
Right.
But I could
Yeah.
bring that with me in a friend's car and just plug it in their aux. It was great. It
Dude.
was great. Yes, Kitty. Look at her. She's being really lovey right now. She wants to get loved and snuggled. Look at her. Look at that face. Look at that face.
What
Oh.
is that? Oh, is that your Nano? Or
Yeah.
Drew, you still have that? Is that the first Nano?
It still works. Yeah. The 1st gen.
That's crazy.
It's turning on right now. I haven't charged it in a while.
All right, I will say,
You can't see
wow. They're just so basic. There was nothing to them. It was great.
Yeah, nothing to fail, honestly. besides
You know what?
battery,
You know what I
maybe.
would love to get? I'm gonna get the iPod Nano with the camera, and take a video with it because I'm sure it's hot garbage. It was hot garbage then.
You think you could live with 2 gigs now?
Absolutely not. No. I mean, even thinking back then, like, what a CD was 700 megabytes, right? So for just 2 albums, just 2 fucking albums, like,
Dude.
that's all. Oh my god.
Dude, I like playing Brick Break on there and like a little click wheel.
Yeah. And Michael, you love high fidelity music, so you'd have one song.
I did
One.
literally not even
song.
one song, dude. That one song is like 7 megabytes.
The iPod would struggle. It would be like, I'm done.
It would take like a
give up.
couple of minutes to load, and then maybe it might work.
Oh my god. Anything for free and use it because anything was better. I feel that. And what's funny is, like, now I have adult money so I can buy the nice stuff, but then now I'm going back to the old stuff and I'm like reminiscing, and it's like, we had some really cool stuff. I kind of wonder every now and again, I'm like, what if the landscape, hadn't changed at certain points and we kind of kept going with certain things? Like, what if Windows Phone still existed?
Oh,
What if BlackBerry never went away? Like, all these kind of interesting
Yeah.
things you think about, like, how would the landscape have changed? But we have just, phones are not fun like they used to be.
One thing I'll never get is the whole foldable thing. Like, I know Samsung started that in 2019, and it's still
Yeah.
going for some reason. Like, I don't know a single person that buys foldables, like, goes out of their way to do that. It just
Right,
it doesn't make
yeah.
any sense to me.
I see
You
I
know?
see the flips out in person a lot, like the various flip, like the flips, Z Flip 6 and some of those.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I just haven't been sold on it either. I've tried them several times, all of them, like, just it never stuck. It's like a
It just
bulky
genuinely feels the
device.
exact same every year. Like,
Yeah.
at this point, I mean, I could compare a Fold 2 to the Fold 6, and I'm sure it wouldn't be that much different.
Right.
Besides
Now,
maybe
I
battery
think
life.
I like the flips. I think that those kind of make sense because it has that little hint of nostalgia with it. Although the form
Yeah.
factor is kind of bulky, that there's a little bit of nostalgia. And then when I had the Z Flip 5, I really liked that phone. Battery life was awful, garbage, but
If you don't use the phone a lot, I would say
It
they're
makes-
great.
you're
Yeah.
right. You're right.
Because if you're constantly opening it, it is the biggest frustration. Like, I
Yeah,
work
it
from
is.
home, like you were saying. So like, I
Yeah.
basically just left it open on my desk because I just constantly was flipping it. And then I'm like, why did I buy this? Like, any slab phone is going to give me that same experience. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I understand a little bit with that one. Now the
Yeah.
folds, like I have a friend, one of my good friends, like he is in love with that thing. He ended up switching to S24 Ultra, and he's like, I instantly regretted it because he loved having that screen.
Yeah.
But that still feels like such a niche, like it's such a niche thing. Kind of like
It's the
the
same
smaller
weird niche as like the mini, right?
Exactly.
It's like, you know,
exactly.
nobody buys them.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like people buy them, but I feel like there's a certain type of person that buys it, because when
Right.
I used one, I kept using the front screen, and I'm like, what is the point of me having this?
Yeah.
Well, like
that's what happened with like less so on the Samsung ones. I found
Yeah.
myself like rarely using because it's just too small for most things. But the Pixel Fold, for example, especially the latest one, the 9 Pro Fold, that one I rarely ever opened. I think I opened it like 3 times, and I'm like, wow, like I just always use the outside display. Like there's no point in using this.
Well,
I
especially
still can't
the
believe-
original Pixel Fold. I mean, that
So
outer display was
bad.
perfect. Well, the inner display sucked.
Yeah,
but
the
the
inner
outer
display.
display was beautiful. I
Yeah.
actually really liked using it because it was so small.
Yeah, that Passport like design was perfect. Like I
yeah,
really
that
hate
was
that they
nice.
moved away from that. Like, not that the 9 Pro Fold's bad or anything. I just think the first gen they really
It's more
nailed the
generic
form
now.
factor. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely and that's to your point. I think a lot of the foldables, they're more of the same and they're becoming more generic. So now they're going to hit the same point of like all other slab phones where they're not offering anything better and the specs are technically worse and the price is
Yeah.
way higher. So why invest in that? It doesn't make sense for most people.
I think the flexible OLED needs to improve. Like, I know it's improved iteratively over time, but like I don't feel like that's something that appeals to me, because the crease,
Yeah.
like it's just the little things with it, and then it's still a plastic screen. We got so used to having a glass display
Right.
that feels really nice. It feels really premium. You go to a plastic display, you're like, oh, this kind of feels like shit.
Well,
Like, it
and we're
doesn't
kind of
feel-
screwed here too in the US because like in the US, like
Yeah.
and that's another thing I noticed too. That's like kind of the trend more so now than at least the last few years. You'll notice like in the comment section when you post a video about some of like the phones we get here, and it's like, yeah, but if you had like Xiaomi or this, it's like, yeah, I would love to have all of these other brands, but here in the US, I have like 3 choices. Like
China,
and that's it.
dude, China is going crazy. Like, if you look at not only the phone market, but like the EV market,
Yeah.
our choice is so limited, and it makes me so sad because they're over there. Well, I mean, one thing I will say, like China, the government is obviously subsidizing quite a few of the Chinese-built EVs.
Yeah.
But like our choices are so limited. But like Tesla over there, they suck because you got BYD, you got other brands over there that are
Right.
just pumping cars
Yeah.
out. But they also make cars for everyone. They have small, like we don't have small cars anymore.
Yeah.
What blew my mind was when American manufacturers were like, you know what, we're not going to make sedans anymore. And I'm like, Toyota is still making the Camry and the Corolla, right? Nissan was still making the Altima, the Maxima. They stopped making the Maxima recently. And then, but I mean, like Chevy and Ford, they're like, nope, SUVs only. And I'm like, no, like
Right.
the gas prices are going to go up one day and people are going to go right back. Because, I mean, again, it's like a vicious cycle. We just keep going around and around. But the moment we get to $4 a gallon again, all these people that bought these big ass F-250s and shit, they're going to be like, I want a Prius now.
But
I
here's
mean-
the thing, Ian. What are you driving currently?
It's actually better on gas.
You
Hey,
went away
know
from
what?
your 4-door sedan to
Nope.
sorry,
Nope.
what?
It's better on gas. It's better on gas than
Your
Hunter's car.
Lincoln SUV. Sorry, the Ford
My
SUV,
Lincoln, hey,
basically.
my
Do you
Lincoln
just get,
SUV.
like, a handicap spot for free with those? Do you even
You
need
know
just
like
what?
come by
an
default.
actual
Honestly,
pass?
I
They don't
should
even
check
check.
the glove box. There might be a placard in there.
Check like the door card. It might be like hidden in the back.
You know what? And hey, there might be a cane in the back that I haven't found
Comes
yet.
with a built-in
But-
walker.
It's like the Rolls
Listen.
Royce where they have the umbrella that pops out of the door, but instead of that, it's a cane.
All right, listen, I was never cool to begin with, okay? It doesn't matter what I drive. But like, no. So Hunter got a Mercedes, right? And his Mercedes takes premium. Stop it, you. Stop it. I will come up there. Don't do that. But like Hunter got a Mercedes and his takes premium, but the Lincoln is using a regular Ford engine that takes regular. So mine is actually cheaper on gas than his.
You're comparing a
I'm
Lincoln
selling
to
it.
a Mercedes.
I'm selling it. Hey, Lincoln,
Weird.
sponsor me. Send me a press vehicle. I'll give you good feedback. No, I like the car. Don't get me wrong, but like, no, they have no cars. Nobody has cars
Yeah.
anymore.
No,
Like,
no. I mean, it's really narrowed down. I mean, yeah, like you said, like Ford isn't doing like sedans anymore.
No,
At least Tesla's doing.
but they do
something
in
with
other
those
countries. It makes no
You're right.
sense.
things. Yeah.
Like, I don't know how Stellantis is still in business. To be honest with you, Drew
don't
is the
get it.
only person that buys Jeeps. That's the only person.
I'm still waiting to get the letter in the mail where they're like, just keep it. Well, so, and funny enough, like one of the first months of leasing my latest Jeep,
Yeah.
I went to go pay the bill and their site was down for like the whole month. And they were
Oh,
like, and
how
so I
convenient.
called. Yeah, I called. I'm like, hey, how do I make my payment? Like, that's not great. And she was like, oh, you could just make it next month. It'll be fine. She's like, our systems are down. And I'm like, okay, but like, it's not going to like affect me. She's like, nope, we don't care. That's just flat out what she said. She just said, we don't care. I said, cool. So I'll pay
Dude,
it next
time
time.
to lease a Jeep, dude, for free.
Right.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
my
right.
god.
And that was just like the second month of leasing. So that's been my
God.
That's
and it's-
crazy.
oh, and it's changed completely. So like so I had the 2021 as well. And then I also had a Ram 1500 before they split off
Yeah.
Ram as well. So, but all of their leasing changed where now if you go to lease a Jeep or whatever, you can only lease through Stellantis financing. They no longer work with anyone else. There's no other options, and it has to be through Stellantis, which is crazy to me. So I am
Honestly,
waiting.
it sounds
for,
great if you don't have to pay for it.
Exactly. Like I'm waiting now for them to just go under, and they're like, "You can keep it."
Oh, that's
Yes.
crazy.
Yeah, she definitely her Jeep is way more expensive. That thing was like
Yeah.
150,000 or something.
Now my friend did get a Grand Cherokee. I like the Grand Cherokee. It's nice.
Yeah.
And they gave her a good deal. Like it was. So we went. At the beginning of this year, I went with her to the dealership, and my thought was like get a 24 and see if they'll give you a deal on it. And then they were like, yeah, we only have 25s. And then they gave us like $2,000 for being military, and then like 7,500 off.
Yeah.
And so like this was like a $46,000 SUV that went down to like 34.
Yeah.
It was pretty, no, I'm good. No. Stop feeding me. I'm good. Thank you. What is it?
Are you safe? Blink
What is
twice.
this?
There's just
That yellow
ominous
substance.
food coming into the screen.
It's mango ice cream.
It tastes like
Poison.
gelato.
He doesn't look thrilled.
No, he got this
Yeah,
ninja.
mango.
He got this thing called a Ninja Creamy, and it's an ice cream
Sorry,
maker.
Wait, what's
Come
that
again? What?
again?
Stop. That's
is
the
it
real
called?
product name.
No,
It's the
what is
real
it
product
called?
name.
What is it?
Ninja Creamy. Look it up. Look it up.
Great. Okay. I hope.
Well, we
somebody
just
clicks
got the perfect soundbite and clip of Ian going
Stop.
forward.
Stop. I literally told someone at work this, and they were like, "Is that the actual name of the product?" I was like, "Yes, sir, it is."
that. Just wait. Hold on, make sure. What is it again, please, Ian? I just want to make sure.
Creamy with an I. Creamy with an I.
That
It's
it's
the
not
du-
helping you.
It's not.
Man, I would hate
No.
returning that thing. Sir, what are you returning? The creamy.
Stop.
Dude, we've gotten 7 creamies returned today. This is crazy, man.
But like, it's embarrassing for me to say it, but what's more embarrassing is that there was a marketing team that sat in an office and said, you know what? Let's call it the Creamy with an I.
Oh yeah, dude. Good idea.
You could have named it anything else.
Hey,
Anything
good thing is
else.
nobody else has taken that name. So
You are bad. You are now. You can't come upstairs anymore. You stay down there with that.
So what flavors does it make?
So what you basically do is you well no, they give you a recipe book. Stop. They give you a recipe book and they tell you
No,
what
Ian,
ingredients
we
you
believe
need.
Trust me. No, that's good.
Oh my god, it's fine. Everything is fine.
Did you find
I
this
also-
at CES? I feel like this is something that would be
Look
at
in the
CES.
back.
You know where I guarantee he found this was TikTok, because TikTok is a terrible influence.
That's
Oh,
true.
he bought the Ninja Creamy off of TikTok Shop.
No,
That's
not
good.
off TikTok Shop. No, but like
How do we know?
I
How do we
swear-
know?
I
Prove
don't-
it. I want to know.
don't
No, no, no. Ask right now where he bought it.
He
from.
bought
I
it at
guarantee
Walmart.
it's
He
TikTok.
ordered it on
Are you
Walmart.
sure?
Yes. We
Okay.
pay for Walmart Plus, sadly.
You pay for Walmart Plus? No.
Let me tell you why. Like
Dude, I'll
we
just
moved
give you my
here.
Walmart Plus account, dude. Stop paying for Walmart Plus.
I got it for $50. It's fine. But no, I was the one, right, that would tell him when we were in Florida, I would tell him, I'm like, we're gonna drive to the grocery store. We got here and I'm like, hell no, I'm not leaving the house anymore. Fuck that. No, I'm not leaving the house anymore. So we have our groceries delivered now.
Oh,
and,
jeez.
and I got a wagon. To go pick my
wagon?
groceries up.
Wait, did you go pick up the creamy in the wagon?
Stop, no. Just show it off to everyone. Look
Yeah,
at
I
my
just
new
see you
Ninja Creamy.
dragging that around. It just says
It's like
creamy.
squeaky. You can hear it.
Oh
You
my
gotta
God.
like instead of a lemonade stand, you gotta set up a creamy stand. You know.
Imagine
what?
delivering.
You know
that.
what? During the summer, that would probably work out really well.
Probably
That's
would.
true.
Actually, yeah, it would.
Probably would.
It comes with 3 pint size glasses. You
Oh,
mix
that's
the
good.
ingredients up, you put it in the freezer for 24 hours, and then you mix it up with this machine.
Wait, you have to put it in the freezer, so it's not just like a do-it-yourself
It
thing.
has to be
You
cold.
gotta actually do. Okay. Okay.
I'm
Has to
looking
be
at this
cold.
thing.
You can't just use like ice or something. Okay.
I
Please-
said the same thing.
Please tell me it was like on sale, because Jesus Christ. The
I think
price
it was
thing.
like 160. How much
Oh,
are you
okay.
saying?
There's one for $3.49, but it's the
I
It
don't
also
even know which
does
one you
soft
got.
serve.
The deluxe creamy.
Creamy deluxe,
Creamy.
extra creamy.
With an eye,
extra
of course.
Yes. I really wish I was a fly on the wall for that meeting that they had, that marketing meeting they had. That's just hilarious to
it
me.
says turn anything into soft serve.
Turn anything into cream.
You got to
I-
review this now, Ian. Like I want a
No.
video on this like tomorrow.
Yeah, I
Oh
need
my
one,
God.
dude. I need to know how it works just to make sure.
If I can barely review an audio product, how do you expect me to review a food product? It made ice cream and it was good.
The fact that this was a registered trademark of how they spelled creamy is wild to me.
That's crazy.
That's
I mean,
nuts.
the funniest thing to me is like people love Ninja products. Like
Yeah.
I mean, they have some pretty decent stuff, but like when he told me the name of this, I was like, that's such an awful name. Of all the things that you could name this,
That's a lot of people to sign off on that to be like, yep, that sounds
Yeah.
great.
that sounds fine. And then you've got, you know, now you guys are like, what is that? And then he's like, no, and then she's like that, and then my
They
innocence
got,
went away. My innocence left me.
They got all different models though, all the way up to $400.
You know
The
what you know what he
creamy Max.
You know what he wants to get now? He wants to get a Breville. He wants a Breville espresso maker.
Okay, I have been wanting one of those for a while, and I keep watching the price because I want one so bad.
The day you see that go down in price, because the most expensive one was $550.
Yeah, five. Yeah.
I told when he told me to look this up, I said absolutely not happening. I'm not buying a $550 coffee machine. So right now he makes the espresso with the little tiny kettle that you put on the stove, and it just like erupts after it's like. and like I love it because the first time he made the espresso and he had the milk and everything he made, he's like, Starbucks ain't got shit on me. And I laughed so hard. Like, and here I am still going to Starbucks. Oh Lord, what did you send me? What did you
Oh,
send me?
that's a mischievous emoji.
Right. That's not good.
And it's her. I'm not showing this on. I'm not showing this on stream.
That is great.
Do you know what it was? Did she send it to you too?
No. I'm sure she's
Oh
going
my
to.
God.
That is great. That is,
Let me
yeah,
see.
that's a wild name. So it doesn't taste good. Nothing it makes is great.
No, it's good. It
creams.
tastes fine.
Oh,
It tastes fine. Like,
It tastes fine.
yeah, I mean, I've had like only one bite of it.
Is it $150 fine?
No. But then again, I do whatever makes him happy. That's
You
He's
wouldn't, you wouldn't creamy again.
He's gonna have the fancy espresso and the fancy creamy, and Ian's like, I'm still going out to get ice cream.
Can you
in
imagine
Starbucks."
he's gonna have coffee and ice cream, he's gonna mix the two, and it's gonna make sense. Like
Yeah.
it'll just
No,
make
no, okay.
sense.
I will say the one Ninja product I do actually want is the Ninja Slushy, which is slushy with an
Yeah.
I. And that thing's
See, they had to keep the same. Yep.
right, of course, consistency, but
Hold
at
on,
least
now
it's
let
not
me-
creamy.
Okay, but that looks cool. I
No, this
like
is
the
sick.
Ninja Slushy.
Dude, you can make your own like Baja Blast freeze like at home. Like, dude, sure.
Oh, this
How
is
much
great.
is that? How much is
like
this thing?
$300.
$349. Yeah.
Oh my god!
But,
I
I
love that the
mean-
first picture is like a margarita.
Yeah,
I know.
you know
I
their
love
audience.
in the description it says you can add alcohol. It's like one of the first things it says.
It's
I
kinda
love
sick,
that
though.
the majority of this is alcoholic beverages.
Yeah.
God, nothing says you're an alcoholic like a Ninja Slushy.
Yeah.
You go to someone's house, it's just that and like 5/5 of vodka next to it.
Oh
Hey,
my
what's up,
God,
this
Michael! It
Grey
has a
Goose here
travel.
for?
It has a
Oh.
travel tote. It has
Oh,
a travel
really?
tote.
Well, you got to bring it to the beach, Ian. Like, come on.
You got your diesel generator to power your
Yeah.
Ninja Slushy.
Oh my God, that's funny as hell.
That
All
is
right,
great.
well, it looks like you'll be getting a slushy and a creamy.
That sounds great.
Does it?
I'm not gonna lie, the margaritas look really good. Like,
yeah,
I
I
would-
know.
I would like to
it,
have one right now.
It looks great.
You could put it in that table behind you, and then during streaming, just get yourself a slushy.
You just hear like it just becomes too loud to hear anything else, and you're like, hold on, I'm just making a slushy. Oh my God, that's great.
I hope it's like
All right.
obnoxiously loud too.
I bet it is. All right, so we're starting to lose viewers. I think that means we should end our stream.
We're
And
still here. Have we
Yep,
had any
we're
more
still
than
here.
2?
we have 3, and that's probably
Uh-oh.
us.
Neat.
It's pretty bad that we finished with creamy.
You know
Yeah.
what? You know what? I guess that's the way to finish it sometimes.
That's how we finish things.
We have a slushy and a
Finish
creamy.
with cream, you know?
Anyone looking to buy a Ninja product, we will provide you an affiliate link in the
Really?
comments below. Well, one of us will. One of
Okay.
us will provide an affiliate link, and we hope that it's a Samsung level, like with a very high percentage.
Whoa, they have a Ninja Swirl? Wait, hold on.
Look what-
Ninja
look what-
Swirl by Creamy. Soft
I
serve
blame
ice cream
this
machine.
on Hunter. Now Michael's like intrigued by
Yo, 10% off too on Ninja's website direct, dude.
Well, it's pretty bad because I was actually searching for the link too. So now you got us all.
this is what happens when you become an adult. Instead of being excited by the things we were excited by, like, oh, a Nintendo Switch. No, it's household products like, ooh, a Dyson.
No, dude,
Ooh.
genuinely, like, who wouldn't get excited over a slushy machine, bro? That's so sick.
Very true. Very true.
Damn it, now I want. Okay, well, that's for another time.
Oh my God, that's great.
Oh, that's great. And somehow our watch count jumped to 7 now. So
Oh, it went back
Oh,
to 7. Okay.
good.
The moment I look away.
yeah.
Oh, so something else I read before we go, I'll mention this. Like Amazon, I guess they had Amazon App Store on Android, and now they're taking that away.
Yeah.
And honestly, I completely forgot about that. Like, look, it's on this one. The
That's still
Amazon
a thing,
App
dude. I
Store.
just got to do that like years ago.
I don't get it. Like, why do you need a secondary app store?
Are there people that
You
have
don't.
used that? Like,
I guess if you buy an app on Amazon, I feel bad.
sure, but
What
I
is
mean,
what is Droid Zap? What is that? What is Droid Zap? Let's see.
all
Oh,
these
that's
send
great.
photos or videos to people around you by swiping up
Is-
with 2 fingers.
It was like via
Isn't it-
Wi-Fi. You had to be
Look
on
at
the
this.
same Wi-Fi, so it was like
But-
AirDrop.
It was like
but
Android
like-
Beam, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks. Oh my god, this is literally like 2013.
Yeah,
All the stuff that's come out has been done already. It's just been done.
he just leaves.
He's gone. Never
He's
comes
gone.
back. The stream
Yeah,
stays
no,
on
I'm back.
indefinitely. It's just a
No,
slightly
no.
spinning chair.
It's I have the dog and the cat, and everyone's trying to get out, and they come in here, and then they look at the door, and they look at me, and they're like, can y'all gift me a 15 Pro Max though?
Can you give me a 15 Pro Max?
Yeah. What about us?
Right.
What about us?
I don't have
mean,
one. I'm stuck using the 16 Pro Max. I'd love a 15 Pro Max.
What's been your favorite iPhone so far?
Within like a what time span? Like, 'cause
Let's say
in general?
the last 5 years.
13 Pro Max, I'd say.
I was gonna say that too.
Yeah.
I feel like that's, and honestly, part of me. Well, thank you for like bringing this up, because that made me like I kind of want to buy a 13 Pro Max and like see like if it's still
no.
it's probably not as good
Keep your
now.
memory. Keep your memory of it being good. It's not good anymore. Trust me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I only have a 16 Pro Max and it's obsolete. Is it already obsolete? It's already.
Yeah, 16 Pro Max is not getting updates
already-
anymore. Man, battery life
No.
is terrible.
The 14 I think was the worst. Maybe the 15. Like both of those
14
were
was
pretty
pretty
rough.
bad.
No,
Like
the
the
14
14
Pro
was
Max.
awful.
14 Pro Max was a step back. They were
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
hey,
definitely.
but it has a dynamic island, and I was like,
And an always on display.
Yeah.
But we don't have good battery life.
yeah, I turned it off.
Yeah, and
I
like
And then the
turned it
camera
off.
switching too, as if you notice, like in other like apps or whatever, it was
Oh my
terrible.
God.
yeah.
Speaking of the camera, they need to fix that macro thing. It drives me insane. Like I love to keep it on because I like the macro camera, but like the fact that it still has that such shitty transition between the two.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
I hate
so
it.
bad. I agree. I agree with this. That's yes, correct. I agree with that.
Yeah, I think the 16 is definitely kind of made up for some of like the 14 and 15's mistakes, but
Yeah.
it's still not there all the way. I think the 17 is going to be good, hopefully.
I think, and what's interesting to me, well, let me say this: like the camera button, trash. That's
I hate
garbage.
it.
That was a terrible.
Yeah,
Like
no,
honestly,
I've never used it once.
and the cases are so awkward because they have this like
A
this
weird
gap,
cutout. Yeah,
and
Yeah.
it's where you hold the. Why? It's a terrible placement. Like
I
You could've-
absolutely hate it. I'm so glad that it's not on the 16E, and that's what makes me so
Yeah.
excited about using that. It's like I will put up with, I will give you MagSafe back if you just take away that stupid button.
it's dumb.
It makes
what-
I
no
love how
sense.
they're taking away like camera control from the 16E as if that's like a feature.
Right.
Like, no,
It's
I
okay
I
for
don't want
opening-
that. Keep it.
But here's the.
It's an
I will say
upgrade.
this. I changed my action button to open the camera on the 15 Pro Max, and then the camera button came, and I was like, I still was using the action button. I was like, this is genuinely no purpose.
It serves zero.
Visual intelligence. Apple's AI, like, it just is bad.
The
It's
only
just
thing I
not
like about
good.
Apple's like intelligence features is like the camera removal tool or whatever it's called.
Yeah,
Like,
that works really
that's
well.
been pretty good.
Yeah.
But everything else
Oh my
is
God.
just terrible.
It's
The
brutal.
thing that still blows my mind is the summaries for all your notifications and just how bad it is sometimes. Like you saw they had to turn it off of Apple News because
Yeah.
like the summaries were saying like something
Oh,
got
yeah.
bombed or something. I was like, oh my
Yeah.
God.
It's so
like,
Not
bad.
great.
How do you mess that up?
You know, real quick, I okay, a little off tangent, but can we talk about how cheap phones have gotten? Like not new phones, but used phones. Like I don't know if it's just me, but the iPhone XS still feels very new,
Yeah.
and you can get one for like $100.
Which one?
The XS.
The 10S? Yeah, no, like hold on. Genuinely. like-
Okay, here he goes.
Pulls out like 5 bins of phones.
I have a
This was like
10S. Look, see, look what he's got.
$120 for this 10S.
Yeah,
Yeah. Like, no, Hunter was like, I want a phone. And like, Swappa, here it is. So
yeah. No, it's
But no,
it's like a good deal.
I honestly thought about trying to main this because like it's still like, and this is actually a good size. This is what, 5 point.
The 10s was so good, so
What is
good.
this? 5.2? What is? I can't remember the size of this one.
I think it's 5.6.
Like,
Something normal.
look
yeah.
at that. Like, what the hell happened?
No, like, I was genuinely considering getting like an 11 Pro and swapping the battery out just so I could use it. But then I
Yeah.
realized 5G doesn't exist, which isn't great.
Yeah.
And then
I
other
need.
things.
I'm gonna have to like give him commission to find me deals because like he's scouring eBay on like a daily basis, and I remember he would post on Twitter. I'm like, how the fuck does he find these deals? It's so unfair. Like, I'm so mad.
Dude, I miss like searching for phones constantly. It was actually kind of fun on eBay. Like just finding, like, yeah, I found like an iPhone 10s when it was like a year old. I don't know if you remember this, but like it was like water damaged and flooded. It was like in a river, and it turns out it had like Apple Care Plus and it was under the iPhone upgrade program too. So I just submitted it and I got a free iPhone 11 Pro out of it.
Wow.
That was insane, but there's a lot of good stuff if you just search for long enough.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like pricing is definitely going down. Like I've noticed that, and even on iPhones, which is crazy because for a long time iPhones held like their value for quite a long time, but now I've noticed like that's starting to shift. So I'm really curious with like, especially like the 16e going to $599. If the 17 series is even more money, I think we're going to see a huge shift in the market where like the 16 series, 15 series, 14 series, like all of those are just going to keep dropping in price.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I mean, even some of the older ones that are still, decent right now, like 12 and 13, like they're still selling for 300 plus in some places. But what I'm curious about is if we do start seeing, the result of tariffs, like that's obviously going to make a difference. But then the resale market will become worse. They'll become more because, those are already out there and they're going to be like, all right, well, your choice is either buying new with a 20% hike or buying used from me. And, the other thing that came out recently, you remember when the TikTok ban happened for that like 12-hour period?
Yeah.
And then people were selling iPhones on eBay for like 50 grand.
Dude,
and I
eBay
was
is
like,
still flooded with those phones, and it's so annoying because you'll see an iPhone 7 for like $5,000, and it's like,
oh, dude, people were
stop.
selling these. They had like TikTok on there, and they were selling it for like $3 grand. And I was like, I feel bad for whoever did that. Like, I feel bad for you if you did that. Honestly, my problem was I thought about it. I was like, when people were doing that, I was like, damn, I can make a couple grand off this. But I was like, all my personal information is not wiped off that phone. Absolutely not. Not going to happen. No, thank you. I did find a trick to get people to click through. What? Oh, 60. Price is not okay. Carrier deals. Yeah, that's probably true. But again, these carriers, what they do now is they trap you with the bill credits. So it's like it's honestly like you're stuck. It's pointless. And I don't know. Do the prepaid carriers do the same thing? Like if you get a deal through them?
No, usually theirs are like outright, but they're like low. Like they try to offer you a deal. Like you can get, like iPhone 11, for example. They were like giving those away. It was like $99 to move to them.
Like Cricket and Boost, I think, are offering the 13 for free right now if you switch. But you have to have a phone number to bring to them.
Right.
And then there's stipulations for what phone number you can bring. But like with that, and then you can't unlock those phones for a year plus.
Right.
Yeah, that's annoying.
So that's the only annoying thing. Like I think Verizon, back in the day, they used to, all their phones were unlocked out of the box.
Right. Yeah.
But then now they do like 60 days. You have to have service for 60 days, I think.
Yeah.
Before they'll unlock it. So either way,
and I think with AI, especially every company being very clear, like Samsung and others on stage of it's free for now. I still have like a kind of suspicion that we're going to see device prices probably stay stagnant for a bit, but they're going to start charging for the AI features in addition to whatever subscription you're paying. And then carriers will probably start offering, we'll bundle, this AI feature for $5.99, or like Apple One subscription is probably going to
Yeah.
go up, and then they're going to
Yep.
bundle in
Put
AI,
that in there.
and that's what's going to, so we're paying for all of these additional services we probably will not really use.
It's garbage. It really is. Like the only thing I've thought about paying as far as AI is concerned, like ChatGPT, just because like the higher version of ChatGPT, and that's genuinely helpful.
Yeah.
That has genuinely been helpful. But they limit you, like for the free one, they limit you to how many queries you can make per day.
Right.
That and memory too.
Yeah.
So like I thought about just doing like the $20 one a month.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, that's definitely going to happen because how are they going to retain? You
Yeah,
know,
right.
that's a lot of data they have to push, and of course they're going to have higher and higher compute power needed for all the stuff that they're doing.
And
So,
Apple like already kind of has it perfectly built into their ecosystem with Apple One, because they're just going to throw it in there,
Yep.
upcharge you like another $10 a month, and you're going to be like, well, I still need all these services, because if I do it individually, I'm paying 3 times the price.
they trap you in the ecosystem. It's so annoying. That's the other thing. Like I haven't switched I still use my Apple Watch sometimes when I work out. I'm still using these AirPods. Like
Yeah.
I got.
Well, and are you
I got-
paying for Apple subscriptions still? Like, are you paying for like Apple
Yes.
TV or Apple Fitness and stuff? Yeah. So
no,
it's like,
I'm not paying for any of those. I'm paying for like
iCloud.
iCloud storage.
yeah.
But like
So that was my thing. Like every time I would leave iPhone, I'm like, man, I'm paying for all these services that I'm not
Yeah.
using now. Like,
and like that is a pain. Like I mean, moving from iPhone to Samsung, like with T-Mobile, right? With the eSIM, you have to call now to change
Yeah.
your SIM card over. That's a pain in the ass. Then you have to connect them together with a cable, and then pray to God everything comes over. It took 2.5 hours for all my stuff to move over to this phone, and I just literally was like phoneless for 2.5 hours. And then, like it tries to determine what apps you have and replace, with the Play Store. Some apps didn't even. There was just nothing there. I had to go find the app. And then if you don't have a good password manager, oh my God, what a nightmare.
Yeah.
What an app. I ended up paying for LastPass because I kept trying to do the free stuff, right? I
Yeah.
did free LastPass, and then LastPass changed it where you had to only use one device at a time.
right.
And then I got Bitwarden, and then Bitwarden annoyed the crap out of me because it asked for my master password every time I opened up Chrome, and I'm like, no, that's bull. I don't want to do that every time. And then I said, you know what? I'll pay for LastPass. So I pay for LastPass. I will say the one perk of Android is the fact that it's like integrated across the system. It like sees, it's like, hey, that field, it's like, oh, are you trying to do your password? Here it is. I'm like, oh my God. iPhone doesn't do that. But then again, iPhone would have like, their passwords app on the iPhone is really good.
Yeah.
It's genuinely good. Like you Face ID, it's there. So, and you forget about those things. Like if you're using the passwords app on an iPhone, all your passwords are not going to come over.
Right.
What a nightmare. And we have passwords for everything. And then maybe you have a passkey.
Right.
Oh God, you have a passkey on another device.
That whole thing's so annoying. I mean,
it really is.
At this point, I've just gave in to the Apple like passwords app because they've started doing passkeys, and it's just like all there. And at this point, I'm not going to switch over to anything else.
The vicious cycle's funny though, because we talked about all these old phones where like it's like we had all this really cool stuff for so long, and then now we're getting to the point where it's like there's so much about tech that's infuriating today in comparison to back then, which is wild.
Back in my day, things were simple. We didn't have as many passwords. We had, and yes, I will say the passwords app, that alone right there.
That was a huge improvement for iOS 18 and like all of the changes that they made for that password app. I mean, it works really well, especially considering that it's just free. Like it's pretty good for free.
It is. It's genuinely a good app. And then just like it's little and again, like this is great, but it's just little things.
Right.
And what I was paying a lot of attention to is as I'm on Reddit, I'm seeing posts of and I think this happens every year. You have people that are iPhone loyalists and they go and they try it, and then they'll like air their grievances of like what they like or don't like about it. And I feel like a lot of times it is the same stuff each time.
Mm-hmm.
And like there's only so much Samsung can do about it. But like I really feel like at the end of the day, iPhone and Android at this point, like the features are almost in parity. Like you're really going from one to the other. You're not missing a whole lot of anything.
No. Yeah.
But obviously it depends on the person, like it depends on what you're using your phone for. I am a basic person. Like I'm a basic user. Like I do edit videos on my phone and stuff like that. But like genuinely these processors are really good. They do what they got to do. Like I've heard of overheating issues with this. Haven't had the issue yet. But again, I don't use the phone like other people do, the other test that makes me laugh every time I see it on short form is like they do the app opening test where they like
so
quickly
stupid.
open apps. I'm like, how is that genuinely a speed test?
I hate it. I
think that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Most useless thing I've ever seen.
They're like, oh, look at the animations. Look at the animations and look how fast these open. They don't even let it open fully. Like, I'm like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Like
and we're at that point because there's not much else they can do or show. Like
it's like compare about. Yeah.
It's like, because like especially side by side, it's like you were saying, like they're so close in being identical. It's just truly down to like your software or your ecosystem that you're in now. Yeah. And that's it. Otherwise, hardware apps, it's very similar and very close in use, at least for everyday use.
And then like this, right? Like we have the notifications, and then you have now on One UI 7 that little that's very that's familiar.
Yeah.
That's weird. I was like, very interesting.
Yeah, OnePlus did the same thing. Like everybody's moving that direction, and
it's so obvious too.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know. It's maybe iOS 19 brings us even though it kind of is gonna.
They gotta change it up. Somebody's got to change it up. Like it's just boring. Like it really is. And I'm not gonna lie, Drew. If we both switch to the 16E, we'll probably be fine. Like,
and that's my thing, right? Is like you said, we usually buy the latest and greatest phones, but I've been noticing like I don't use 90% of the stuff on there, so it's like I'm not shooting in log video all day. I mean, and I'm like worse than most buying these phones because I use like 27 gigs of storage and like I barely use the phone.
You are like you were the ultimate.
I don't understand how you underutilize the storage to the point where you do. It's insane.
I have like 12 apps installed because I don't even put like my work stuff on my phone. So I have like 12 apps and I have 22 gigs of storage.
Can I say the work stuff though? Like I've had to deal with that so often. I refuse to put that stuff on my phone because like the moment you put work apps on your phone, your work-life balance, there's no line. There's nothing. Yeah. It's gone.
And then working from home, it's worse. I'm like, I don't leave here. So like, I'm still in the office at 9. Nope. And so I just delete all that stuff. Like,
no, it's like, it becomes an expectation. It drives me insane. It's like, and then if you're a hard worker and you're trying to get stuff finished, you're like, oh, I guess I'll work on it. Like I have this terrible habit of, so like something I do, and judge me if you want, but like on Sunday night, the night before, I will hop online just to check my email and like get a head start, like so I know what's happening the next day. And then like I've had people online at the same time like, why are you on here? And I'm like, just checking stuff. And they're like, oh. And they're like kind of blown away. They're like, why are you on here?
I would always get that because we use like Slack a lot, and it's like so easy to just get trapped in those messages, and it's like, why am I on here right now? It's like 10 o'clock at night. Like it makes no sense.
God, it's so bad.
I'm looking at my storage right now. I have 442 gigs taken up at a 512 on my 16.
Man.
Look, I can't. There's literally.
I know everybody's like, "What's with the 128 base storage?" I'm like, "Could we get 32 base storage back?"
Dude, no. Yeah, I'm sure you'd be fine with like 8 at this point with the 5 Cs.
Yeah,
8.
And so
absolutely not.
Yeah, so what's crazy too is if I look at like, it's even funnier when I look at like our family like cloud storage, because I use like 2 gigs, but then like Cass is at like 180 gigs.
I'm using 30%. 30%. Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, the funniest thing is like the videos are taking up 51 gigs, but I'm so used to Apple again. like I can buy a lower storage iPhone because everything is in the cloud, and now I'm paying for the 2 terabyte cloud. It's like
By the end
they
of this,
know.
Michael, he's going to switch back to his iPhone.
No, you know what? Like, well, no, I guess the good thing is like now. So the funniest thing is like whenever a new Samsung phone comes out, whatever, you have all the tech reviewers and they go, "I switched from our longtime Apple
Yeah,
fan switches."
yeah, I
And like,
know.
bro, we know you don't actually switch. We know you have a second SIM and you just do your day in the life video, and you're like,
Yeah.
I think
Hey,
those
it
are so
works, you know.
stupid. I'm like, I remember thinking about doing a day in life video, and I'm like, my life is so boring. Like, no one would watch it. They'd be like, dude,
Day in
this
the life.
guy's sad.
I go to my couch and then I go to my desk.
And then I turn on my
Ninja
Ninja
pulling his
Creamy.
groceries in a
And then I turn
wagon.
on my Ninja Creamy and my Ninja Slushy.
I get up and make my espresso, my pot. I'm on the stove. And
Oh my god. Oh, the funny thing is, like, so the person with the crazy name said my iPhone SE 3rd generation has 64 gigabytes. That was crazy. I forgot that the lowest storage was 64, and like that's almost unusable now. You can
Oh, yeah,
only have a
yeah.
few apps, but apps have gotten bigger. So like you said, 32 gigs, like you couldn't. I
Well, it's
guarantee you
the-
couldn't get away with it.
Well, and like the operating system itself now keeps increasing. Like that was the first thing
Yeah.
I noticed with iOS
a big issue.
18. And I don't
Yeah.
know if it's like just all the AI stuff, but that significantly increased.
That is a
in size.
portion. That is a
So-
portion of it.
Yeah.
So, for example, the system on so iOS 10.65 gigs on this, and then system data was like 5.46 gigs.
so it's
Yeah.
16
And, like-
gigs you just can't use.
No, absolutely not. No. So like, and then this phone I used for recording. So I would kill the storage on this within a few videos because I'm only doing 1080p. But if I did, wait, so what is she using now? She's using iPhone now.
Yeah, she's back on iPhone. Yeah. She's on the
Why did you
16 Pro
buy a
Max.
2 terabyte iPhone? Why did you get
Oh,
2
that's the
terabytes?
cloud storage. That's the cloud storage she's looking at.
Oh, I was
Yeah.
like, why did she get such? I was like, did they?
A 2 terabyte iPhone
Yeah, no.
it would be insane.
I know it's late. I'm like, hold on a second, that's wrong, right? They only got 1 terabyte.
For
Yeah.
Drew, for your family in general, a 2 terabyte iPhone would be like the cloud storage itself. Like you could just upload
Yeah.
everything locally to that phone.
Yeah.
Oh my god, y'all just need like a NAS at this point. Just like get yourself like local storage.
And it's funny because I'll constantly because I don't know what it is about using the storage. I'm like, why do we have all this stuff? Because I know most of it's like useless screenshots and stuff that like the kids and stuff forget. So I
Yeah.
always message them and I'm like, hey, delete like 90% of your storage, please. And so they're constantly clearing there. So they're doing pretty good right now. They're like 20, 30 gigs here and there.
Man.
Oh my god.
And then meanwhile, I'm at 2
You're
gigs.
the parent monitoring their storage. You're like, hold on, hold
Drew,
on.
can you go
All
through
right.
my phone and delete shit? Because I
Seriously, Drew, like I have so many screenshots and pictures. You would, if you saw this room, you
don't-
would cry.
So okay, I must be like OCD because I take a screenshot, I delete it right after. Like I'm like
I'm-
crazy with this stuff. Like
Dude,
I
I'm the
delete
type.
everything.
the issue with me is like I always like think I might need it later and then
Thank
end up
you.
holding it
Yes.
for 3 years.
so
And
my
then
problem
Michael,
is-
it sits on our phone for 4 years, and we're like, wow, I forgot about that.
And then it becomes nostalgic. And then you keep it.
yeah, but so like most of my screenshots I message to people, right? Like I'll send it to her
Yes.
and then it's in iMessage if I need to go back to it. So I can delete it from my photos. But then also I have like a photographic memory. So like for me, it's like it's already there. So
But Drew, do you have your messages auto deleted at a certain time?
So I
Yeah.
will go through. No, I don't auto delete because that's terrifying. But I will go through. I will go through and delete them every year. I go through and clear the board and then start over. So
Really?
yep. And then I'm
Oh,
also
wow.
I'm one of those zero inbox people. So right now I literally have 0 email in all
Do
of my
mine.
inboxes.
Do mine,
So-
please. Do mine.
I've got
Drew, I got to
145,000 right now.
dude, I got to the point where I just go and I look label unread and I just read them all and don't even worry about it. Drew, I spent hours going
My
through
Gmail
emails.
inbox is full. Well, I can't even receive emails anymore. I do.
Michael, I had to buy the storage. I was so
Yeah,
pissed. I was like,
going to need to after this, dude. This is
I
so
got
bad.
0 in my inbox right now, and I have
I
like
was like-
nothing in folders or anything. It's just flat out 0. Same thing with work. Like at work, I get
How?
like hundreds of
How do you
emails a
do-
day, and I go through
How?
every single one.
What if
That's
there's like
just-
something important that you've received? You know, like that's the issue with me. It's like if I delete everything,
Yeah.
there's going to be one thing that I guarantee you I'm going to need at some point. Maybe,
Okay,
maybe not. Maybe,
all
maybe
right.
I'm just overthinking it. But like, dude, it's
I have 154 photos in mine.
okay, all of you. No, not all of you. I know Michael's very similar to me. I
how do you check
where- so
on Google Photos?
I don't know. You may have to go like albums to see if it'll give you.
Oh
a
no
count.
no! You have to go through Google One if you have that. The Google One app I think tells you. how many.
Yeah. Okay, I don't have my iPhone on me, but I had 51,000 items in my Photos app.
So-
but right now I have 5,100 in the Samsung phone.
That's nuts.
That feels wrong. Hold on.
I have 700 in cloud storage, 700 photos, but I have 150 on my phone, and it's just like pictures of the kids, like and family. And then
Yeah.
what I do is every like 6 months and every year, I just dump everything to an SD card that I don't want, and then I
SD
just
card?
yeah,
Wait,
like a
Drew, an
portable
SD card.
SSD. Well, portable SSD, and
Okay,
then
I was
okay,
gonna say,
that's a whole
yeah.
different.
Yeah, so I dump all that to a portable SSD, and then that's it. I delete it off the phone. So anytime I switch phones, it takes like 5 minutes to switch all my stuff over, and then Cass will be sitting there, and it's like 8 hours later, and I'm just like, yep,
Oh my god.
like that's why I do this. Like,
Dude.
You know what I always forget is to put up monetization on this, and I guarantee we won't get anything for it, but it's okay. I forget to do
Oh
that.
no, the 2 cents.
I know. YouTube hates me. But yeah, you know what surprised me was like with the phone colors, the other reason I chose the black 16E, the natural titanium colors were more popular this year,
yeah,
and that was for the iPhone and for Samsung.
yeah.
So it was kind of surprising. I mean, I wish I was rich to the point where I could like literally just buy all of them and just make a video of all of them, but I'm not at that level yet.
It's
I mean, I
crazy
could.
that 16E cases aren't MagSafe either. So like Apple in their thing, like the keynote
Why?
or whatever that they showed the ad, they were like,
Yeah.
you can use MagSafe cases, but the cases, if you were to buy them for the 16E from Apple, they don't have
Really?
MagSafe. Yeah,
Hold on. Really?
it's just a plain silicone case. Yeah, I looked today and there's
Weird.
no mention of MagSafe.
Hold on. Are they the same price, the cases?
Yep.
I would assume so.
Why would you?
So it's
It's
30. Well, it's $10 less.
Wow.
So it's $10
Yeah.
less. Gets you. There's no MagSafe in that case.
That's so weird. Yeah, you can tell they don't show the inside of the case. So there's
Yeah.
like
And I don't like those cases anyways because texturally they're
Oh,
a
they're
nightmare. But
terrible. Yeah.
but I thought that was interesting too. Like they did mention you can get a MagSafe case, but their own
Yeah.
cases are $10 less than all of the others, which $40 for a regular case from them. That's insane.
Yeah.
And no
I
MagSafe.
love the fact that the compare on the main page is like the first one is the iPhone 11, SE second gen 12 million SE. They're like they know who's buying this phone.
Oh,
I mean, yeah, it makes sense. That's definitely like the target demo for this phone
Yeah.
for sure.
I mean, you're not even comparing with a 13 mini. You're going only back to the 12.
Well, the 13 is still good. I think the people
Yeah,
that own
no,
a
it is.
13 have like another year or two left for
Oh, yeah,
like
easily.
normal
Yeah.
usage, and then
That
But-
it is. I think the craziest thing is like looking at these photos. Like the bezel looks huge.
Oh yeah.
The
Yeah.
notch looks giant. I mean, I'm gonna have a
I
tough
can't wait.
time.
You know what? I'm buying one too. I'm gonna sit outside of the Apple Store and be the only person waiting in line for the 16E.
You got to
I-
be like
I
super
was-
hype about it too. Like I
Yeah,
can't wait to
no.
upgrade to this new iPhone.
I'll
Dude,
show them my
I-
16 Pro Max. I'll be like, I can't wait to upgrade, dude. This is a brand new iPhone.
I
Dude.
bought mine at like 6 p.m. because I forgot about it until I saw Drew's post. I
Are they
forgot about
selling
it, and
out
I was
at
like,
all? I hope not.
I was like, oh no! And the date hasn't changed. It's still
Yeah.
February 28th,
Okay, good.
Yeah, it hasn't
Thank
And-
changed.
God.
I'm on there
and
now.
they're giving express delivery.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
I'm kind of excited for it though, just to, like you
Yeah.
said, give it a shot. We should stream again then, and then see how it goes. See how this
Yeah.
experience goes switching to this. Because
Oh my
Oh,
god,
for
it'll be like
sure.
16E, the 16E gang. I love it. That's a
I'm definitely
terrible
picking one
name.
up.
That's such an awful name.
well,
Why did
and
they
I
do
think,
that?
like you said, it sets them up. Like now they almost have to release one every single year,
Yeah.
which is going to be.
Yeah.
It
That was a
doesn't even make sense.
I mean,
That's
SE
gonna
was
be
like
weird.
special, and I guess the other thing I wanted to talk about with that was like the past few years there's been chat about like a new one, but
Right.
we were all thinking it was going to be like a 10R11 design, and I was
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm okay with that, but like because like this was bargain bin, like this was leftover parts
Right.
that made
Yeah.
sense, and I was like, you know what, if they can revise the SE and put it in a phone with the notch and all the stuff and keep it the same price, I was like, hell yeah, that's a good thing. Like
Right.
a 10R or an 11 with an A15 chip or whatever would be fantastic because it
Yeah.
would be super fast. I mean, LCD, not a big deal. Like it was still fine, but like as a lower end phone, it
Right.
separates itself enough from the other line.
That
Right.
would've
But
been great,
now,
yeah.
but like I said, like they're making reasons for you to upgrade.
No. Wait, hold on. You know what would have been perfect is
What?
the iPhone 10, like not design, but the size. That
Yeah.
size was perfect.
Yeah.
But
they had
Michael, the
brought
problem
that
with
back-
that,
No,
but the
I
problem-
know. It's not a bargain bin.
They don't have
especially
leftover
because they have
parts.
to remake
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
it's a custom.
But
But now I feel like we're gonna get like, if they did it year over year, so they'll do like, watch them do like the 17E, and they're like, you get the camera button and MagSafe now.
But that would suck though, because well, no, that screws them in a sense, because
does.
you think about it, like it screws them because right now they're still selling a 1 generation old base model.
Right.
No, I don't get it
And-
at all. It doesn't make any sense.
No, the lineup doesn't make sense.
Well, like you
like-
said, they're gonna have a 16E, and if they don't sell one for say another 4 years, right?
The
You're
name
like-
screws them because it
It's-
is so old. It's old.
They almost need to
Like
like
you said,
rethink the naming convention of iPhone at this point, because it's gonna get out of control anyways. But like,
Yeah.
you're gonna have like 17, 17 Plus, 17 Pro, 17 Pro Max, 17 Air. What is it gonna be? 17 Air Plus? Like,
could
why?
you imagine? Could you imagine we're on like iPhone? Say it's like iPhone 20, whatever, and then it
Yeah.
still shows the iPhone 16E for sale.
Oh,
That's
dude,
gonna
can't
make no
wait.
sense.
And with our luck, the iPhone 20 is also going to be a Roman numeral, just like the iPhone 10.
XX.
And then people are
There
going
you
to
go.
call it. What is the Roman numeral for 20?
It's XX.
Exactly.
Oh God!
Yeah.
So people are going to call it the XX.
Yeah.
I have the iPhone XX, and then we're going to have the XXR, and the
XXR.
XXS,
XX
Oh, that's
Pro Max.
awful.
I can't wait.
and then in 10 more years we'll have the iPhone XXX.
And the
can't
Air
wait.
really screws it up. Like the Air is really gonna screw up that whole naming.
Yeah, that's gonna be their marketing team has to be going through some stuff right now because that's insane.
But
Yeah.
then like we can't not say something about Samsung. They're going to do the Samsung S25 Edge,
Yeah.
and
okay,
it's
but
not.
here's the thing though. I don't care about Samsung at this point. They make
I know.
garbage
But, like,
phones. They're not good.
They can't
Nobody
use.
realistically wants to buy one.
But then they
Everything
also
is
have
better.
Samsung A series, Samsung
Yeah.
FE, Samsung
They
like
flood the
They
market
have the
with
Z
too many
Flip
phones.
Fold
That's a
series.
problem.
They have
But
everything.
the Edge name, when you think of the Edge name with Samsung, you
yeah.
think of the
The
phones that
Edge.
had the curved screen, you had the
Right.
Edge panel, you had all this stuff.
I mean,
and
when I
with
think
this
Edge, I
phone-
don't think of phones. So that's like the issue.
You don't think of phones when you think of Edge?
No, I don't personally.
Well,
It's
I mean, like,
It's like awful marketing all
It's
across
just
the
it doesn't
board.
make any sense.
well, I mean, like you think of Air, I think of the MacBook Air. I'm not thinking of the phone as an Air. Like the
Right.
iPad Air came after the MacBook Air.
Yeah.
I mean, but the iPad line kind of makes sense. Like I will
Yeah.
say, now dealing with iPads recently, like I hate the naming scheme for the larger one. They should have just called it 13-inch from the beginning instead of that 12.9-inch shit. That drove me insane. So like, and the funny thing is, like the iPad Air 13 and the iPad Pro 13, the 12.9 inch iPad cases fit them, but you're like, oh, but it's 0.1 inch difference. Like, just name it 13. 12.9 was such a shitty name. Like, again, this goes back to the Ninja Creamer. Who are these people sitting in these offices like making these names?
We've made it full circle. Here we go.
But how do they even fix it at this point? Like, do you just drop the numbering and then it's like every year it's just iPhone Pro,
I guess
iPhone
so.
Pro Max, and
I
then
mean,
It would make
iPhone
the
Air?
most sense, I feel
Honestly,
like.
adding Max to it would have made it so much easier.
Well, you know what they would do? This would be a total Apple move. They'll fix the naming. So it'll be like iPhone Pro, iPhone Pro Max, iPhone Air, and then the 16e will still be the same phone, but Apple would drop the 16 and sell it
Just
as
the E?
just the E. They'd be like, this is the iPhone E.
iPhone E.
And then they'd pull the AirPod Max, but in new colors. And then they'd add like 2 new colors.
I
You get,
honestly,
like yellow and like lilac.
dude, I would love it. I would just be like, I have the iPhone E. The
Dude,
E
I would
stands
totally
for
rock the iPhone.
economical.
It would go so hard.
You know they would
does.
do that. Like that's like a total Apple move.
So we've
Oh
decided
my
to remove
God.
all the numbers because they're just adding too much clutter to our lineup.
It's terrible, dude. Steve Jobs is rolling in his fucking grave.
Oh, yeah. He's been doing that for a while, I think.
I like.
Damn
I-
near
I-
rotisserie chicken at this point, dude. Like,
So I was talking to my friend earlier about this, but like, you know, and we're going back full circle again, but like the Galaxy Note 2, I remember when Verizon, their model of the 2 had a Verizon logo on the home button, and I was blown
Oh,
away. I was
yeah.
like, what why would they do that? And then I said, the one thing I respect about Steve Jobs is he went to Singular and he tried to go to multiple carriers, but Singular was the only one that would do it. And he was like, you can't touch the software and you can't put branding on the phone. And thank God he did that, because here we are, 18 years later and it hasn't changed. But Android, no. They're like, put the logo, put it everywhere. I want to see it. I want it on the front, the back. I want every app to be red or blue or purple or whatever.
And then they want to give you like 12 games you'll never play. And then
and
like
you can't uninstall them. You can only disable them. So
Yeah.
like,
yeah.
dude, it's terrible. Like, I mean, you imagine you have this Verizon phone, you unlock it, it still has Verizon garbage on it. You can't get rid of it. Like, you own this, but no, you don't own it. Like, that's terrible. But yeah, I remember Verizon putting the logo on the home button, and I was like, that is
It's really
just
weird and tacky.
that's tragic. Like, that's so messed up. So messed up.
are you gonna get the iPhone Air? Because I'm actually kind of curious about that one.
My thing is though, it's so gimmicky. It sounds so gimmicky. Like, we don't need thinner phones.
Well, look, the thing is, the battery life, I guarantee you, is going to suck.
Oh,
With
yeah.
a 120 hertz thin phone, you think that's going to be good?
Yeah.
No.
Well, and they're getting rid of the Plus, right? So there won't be a
Right,
Plus
so
model.
it's taking,
and so
yeah.
it's
Why
It
would they
makes
get
no-
rid of the Plus? The people love the Plus.
why
I
did they
guess
get rid of the
not.
Mini, Ian?
You're right. You're right.
I
Everybody
guarantee you, though,
loves
they're
the
going to keep
Mini.
selling the Plus and the standard size for the next 2 years.
Oh,
For
probably.
the,
Yeah,
the 16.
Yeah.
And, and that'll last. But
Oh, and that's going to confuse the lineup naming even
Yep.
more.
so the 16, 16 Plus, 16E,
Yeah,
17 Air, 17 Pro, 17 Pro Max.
it's awful.
I
All
love it here.
pastel colors or just silver.
Dude, if I don't get a good, all I want is spring colors, dude. I miss when they did spring colors with the 13 and was it the 14 they did that with? No, but still,
No,
the
it was-
13 had
yeah.
like the alpine green.
which one was that had the dull, like the base model had the dullest colors, was almost white. Like that.
That
was like I think that was the 14, right?
Every phone up until now.
No, you know what
I
I
mean,
you know what I'm talking about.
You mean the 15? The 15 had,
was a
was
15.
just
No.
natural titanium and stuff.
No, I'm
yeah,
talking about the base model, like the base model and the Plus.
Oh, the base.
Oh, the
model.
14s.
Yeah, it was the
It
14.
was the 14. It was like almost white. It was terrible.
Yeah, those were bad. But I mean,
Well, that was the iPhone 6. That was a common problem. Honestly,
It
I'm
still
not
worked
gonna lie to you.
after.
I guarantee you, someone will fly to Australia when the 17 Air comes out,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they are
of
going
course.
to bend that thing. And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
it'll go viral. But they know this. I hope they know this. and they're doing something to structurally make it good.
I don't know if they will, because
You
if
would
you look
hope.
at some of their iPads, like they don't do that on the
Yeah.
iPads, and the iPads are crazy thin.
That
So
battery is going to be like 2,000 milliamps. It's going to be like
Mhm.
it'll last
Yeah.
5 minutes.
It's gonna have a 1,000 nit display and
You're right.
a battery
It's
that
gonna
lasts
be-
like 10
No.
minutes.
it'll be
I
like
guarantee you-
$9.99.
That
Yeah.
display, they're going to make the brightness lower than the Pros because
Oh, yeah.
of the battery
Yeah.
life. It'll affect battery
Yeah.
life.
Well, because they
Yeah, of
still
course.
want you to jump that tier to the
Oh yeah.
Pros. Like they still
Yeah.
want you to buy
There's-
the Pro.
The difference is there's just so few differences. It's
Oh,
almost
you know what's
pointless.
crazy though is that the 17
just-
Air isn't gonna have a camera control button because it's too thin. Thank
Right.
God.
I know it's like I just want to walk into an Apple store and be like, just sell me an iPhone. Like I don't
Yeah.
care about
Well,
the
which one?
numbering.
We have
and all of
17
this.
models.
It's like I just
I'd
want an
I'd like
iPhone.
to buy a 4S, overstock 4S. You know, like I'm sure you still have some in the back, right?
You know how nice it would be just to walk in and it's like it's just streamlined where
An
it's
i-
like
an
one
iPhone
device.
17. you
Like I
know?
want
Yeah,
one
I
really
just
good
want-
iPhone. Like just
just want
nail
three
the
of-
iPhone.
Could
do
you
too many
imagine-
variants?
Imagine if they had a custom, like just like a car, right? You buy the base model iPhone and you put all the stuff on
Yeah,
it.
you get features that you pay for.
You're like, you
Dude,
know what?
I'm
I don't
done.
want the camera button. I want
Gone.
three
Gone.
cameras. I want 3 cameras. I don't want MagSafe. I want faster wired charging.
And I want a
I want
notch.
a silent switch.
And I
I don't
want
want
this
the action
color.
button.
And I want this
The
color.
thing is like that's possible, you know, because it's like with the new design at least,
right.
it's technically a modular design that you could do that if you really wanted to put in the
And-
R&D for it.
Bring
I-
back the Moto Maker. Bring it back.
Right.
No,
Bring it back
no.
right now.
Okay, Ian, calm down.
I want a wood back. I want a
No.
wood back, baby.
No.
Let's
I
go.
bet you
Go.
like 99% of people say no to that camera button. Like just get
Yeah,
rid of that
100%.
thing
No,
altogether.
like,
No,
the
nobody.
reviews of the reviews when it first came out were like, this is garbage.
Right.
Like it was unnecessary.
It doesn't make like they came out with the action button, which literally does the same thing, like you said, and then now they're like, oh, let's add another button. I thought they were going buttonless at some point, and now they're just like, I'm waiting for them for the 7 or like the 18. They're just gonna throw another button on there, and it's just gonna be buttons all on the
Weren't we-
side of this phone.
The
What were we
entire side is
talking
going to be a
about?
button.
Right.
Well, no, weren't we talking about they were supposed to be like capacitive buttons or just like
Yeah.
solid state buttons that actually just had the haptics instead?
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
like
they were supposed to
never
get rid of them, and
no, they
then
never did.
and like there's patents like crazy for them to go buttonless, and that was kind
Yeah.
of the direction it seemed like they were going.
Definitely
When
tried.
I first heard that camera cutout, I was like, why didn't you guys just make the power button into a Touch ID camera combo thing?
Right.
Because that would have been perfect.
No,
Could you
wait,
imagine?
hold on. Why isn't camera control a Touch ID button by default? It's literally glass,
And it
it's
looks
the
yeah,
best place
it looks like it.
for
Thank
your
you.
thumb to rest.
It's
to
like
unlock.
perfectly for the
you.
thumb.
Yeah,
Thank you.
And it's terrible for photos because it's
Yeah,
all
no,
the way
it's
over here,
worse
and no
for
one holds
everything
their
else.
phone like this.
Let me.
No.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine if it actually was capable of being a Touch ID sensor, and they
it
just had it
literally
locked with
could. It's
software,
so easy.
and then like
just do it.
iOS 19 comes out and it just turns it into a Touch ID sensor?
Oh my god! Wait.
Best update ever. Or in Apple fashion, the next version will have
Yep.
it as a Touch ID.
It would be
sensor.
the next one
course,
because
yeah,
that's
yeah.
Apple. Yeah.
And then later we'll find out that the sensors are exactly the same, and there's zero reason they
The
couldn't.
parts interchangeable. It's just it's all software.
And then we find out someone hacks it and they turned it back on.
And then 8 years later, we'll get the 17E with the same features. Still no MagSafe.
Yeah, no,
I can't wait.
that's for
I
the
can't wait
good
for the
iPhone.
17E in 2 years. And they're like, now including MagSafe. I'm like, wow, we got a 2020
You know what's
feature
crazy
8
is
years
I
later.
guarantee you with the 17E they're not even going to include MagSafe with that either. It's
Yeah,
going
probably
to
not.
be
That is the
a
dumbest. That is the
premium feature.
dumbest omission. It is a magnet.
What if the Air
Don't
also
tell them
doesn't
that.
have it?
No, there's no way it doesn't.
No, that one will. You know what? Now that we're all going to get this phone, right? I'm genuinely curious. If you get a case with a MagSafe ring, do the animations
It
and all
does
the stuff that it
animation.
normally does? Do those?
No.
work?
I don't think it will because it
No,
doesn't
it
have
said
the
they
NFC.
said that.
No.
It's like in the fine print of one of their MagSafe cases for this on the website.
Oh, it just says like no
There's
animation.
there's no animations. Yeah.
It just says you're
It's sick.
poor.
Pretty much.
It's a black screen. You don't get to use your phone for 5 minutes after putting the case on.
Oh my god, could you imagine? It just blocks you for like 30 seconds.
It takes $100 out of your bank account every time you put on a new case, just to
Oh
make
my
sure.
God. It's like, please swipe your EBT card. I'm sorry, I should have gone there. It's terrible.
They're gonna start
EBT
charging
on
us for
Apple Pay.
MagSafe. Your MagSafe subscription
Has ended. Please insert $5 to continue.
It just falls from the sky or wherever it's plugged into currently. It retracts the magnets.
We really are coming. We're getting into like this subscription society, and I hate it. I absolutely hate it.
Well, I will say, speaking of subscriptions, though, I am very happy with the iPhone upgrade program so far.
Mhm.
Like, I
Yeah.
think it's at least for me, because if I'm upgrading every year, it takes away the hassle of having to sell, having
Right.
to also report that on taxes and stuff like that every year. I
don't know why no one
return
else
it
has
and
caught
get a
on
new
to
one.
that. It's
I
so
never
it
use
is.
that.
It's-
I buy a new one every year. I just trade mine
Right.
in. What's the
So-
better way to do it?
Samsung
I
got
mean-
rid of. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna say like so for at least for me, for the 16 Pro Max, it's I want to say 62 a month, and you get theft and loss.
Oh, so
Apple
you just pay
Care.
monthly, and so you're not even paying for the
Yeah.
full phone.
No, so
No,
you pay
you just
monthly
give it back and you get the new
Yeah.
one.
every year.
Yeah.
Oh.
And so the it's
Okay.
a great deal. That's what we do. And but what's crazy is like I don't know why like Samsung or others don't offer something similar, especially
Didn't they
since
before?
Samsung has crazy trade-in deals. But Samsung actually just got rid of their financing as well. So they
Right,
no
I noticed
longer
that.
do financing with TD Bank. They switched to it's only through a firm. So they're like changing everything. It's like the Apple upgrade program is like one of the main reasons I like going with Apple, because to your point, you don't have to go through that hassle of, oh, I got to sell my phone, I got to trade it, or like now I have two phones. What do I do with this one?
Yep.
It's like you just swap it, you get a new phone, and you just keep
And you're
going on
literally
about your
done.
day. Yeah.
Yeah, and you just keep paying
So-
that set price as long as the price stays the same with the next iPhone.
Do they
you know?
do they still send it to you in the mail? Like, they still
Yeah, I
mail it to you,
think
and
so.
or do you have to do it in store?
You can do it remote. I've done it where you just mail it
Okay.
back.
Because
Oh,
my
sick. I haven't done
purpose
an
for
upgrade yet,
keeping
so
the
that's
other
good to
one,
know.
I'll make a video like comparing the two. Like,
Do you
that's
have
one
to mail it
video.
back like first, or can you get it in first?
You get it and then you mail it back. Yeah, they take a credit card or they take your Apple card number.
Oh, like a
like-
hold type thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Huh.
will say, like, the trade-in. So Samsung does their trade-in thing. Apple's trade-in program is very good. Like, they send you a box. The only thing I don't
Oh, it's
like
very
is the box.
convenient.
The box is recognizable though, so like you got to be really
Yeah.
careful.
Yes.
I would say take it to the store, videotape yourself.
That's
putting it
that's
in
what
the
I
box.
do. And I keep the
I don't-
receipts.
I don't trust.
Yep,
Ever
me
since the
too.
Pixel issue I had, I'm not playing with them. But Samsung only gives you a label. You
Mhm.
have to provide your own box and everything. And then they said, so when I returned the S24 Ultra, they were like, give us 21 days to inspect the device. And I'm like, 21 days?
Yeah, that's a bit
insane.
much.
And now I had to put a reminder in. I'm like, okay, on this day, you better hear a response back from them. I got a video on my phone. Don't play with me. Like, I'm like, you better give me my $900. Like, I need my money. So, but they need to do better. Like, provide the box. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, I think Pixel
Yeah.
did. Yeah, Google provided the box. I'm pretty sure.
Like I do wish that Apple would do the same thing though that Samsung does with the upfront credit, because
Yeah.
I do
That would
think
be
that's
nice.
awesome. Like
yeah.
there's no reason that they can't do that because they're already taking payment information. So it's like they could
Right.
charge you just like Samsung. So it's
Yeah.
like that would, plus getting the box, like that's a lot of like hoops you don't have to go through, and you get
Yeah.
the upfront discount.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
maybe that pushes more people, especially if they keep increasing the price. That's going to push more people to upgrade to iPhone if it's all up front.
Oh, definitely.
And yes, they did cheap out. When I didn't even know, like, I haven't even looked at all the specs of this phone. And 7.5 watts in 2025
You just
is
ordered
insane.
it. Yeah.
Oh no, no, like
Yeah, 60 hertz display, no MagSafe, the 7.5.
I
watt
researched
charging.
I researched these more than I researched the new ones. That's sad. That's very sad. But I just don't care as much anymore about the
Yeah.
newer. I've lost the interest.
That's
Like I still like to check them out and everything, but like there's just nothing spectacular that's like grabbing me like, oh yeah, I want to know everything about this.
That's
Yeah.
where I'm at. It's like
You-
nothing
you
is
asked
like
me some-
polarizing enough to say
Yeah.
like I have to like check this out or I want to see what this is about. Like there's not
Everything's the
enough.
same.
Yeah, it's just all
Yeah.
identical. It's like
You asked me
Wait,
about a
hold
random
on.
feature from a phone from like 10 years ago. I got you. You asked me about one from now. I don't care. I just I
Yeah.
don't care.
Is there an iPhone upgrade program for the 16e?
Oh my
there
god.
is actually.
You'll be
Is
waiting
there
a while.
really?
Yeah, there is.
I've
Oh,
done the
man.
trade-ins for my Samsung through.
Oh,
it's,
there
it's
is.
like $24 a month or something.
I see it right here. Yeah, $24.95. Oh,
Yeah.
Now,
wow.
how have you guys done
But
trade-in through Best Buy?
did you
do they
notice-
offer-
I have.
Did you notice though the Apple upgrade program for it though, Michael, doesn't have the Apple Care included?
Oh, does it not?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. They just expect you to get a new one. That's
Yeah,
good.
they're like just spend another
Hey,
$5.99.
it's cheap. Come on.
I'm wondering, can you add the Apple Care to it once it arrives though? I would
I
hope
hope
so.
so, but it's not letting me do it here at all. It's not even
Could
an
you-
option.
Could you imagine if it arrives and they're like, "Yeah, we're not going to allow Apple Care for this phone." You just turn
chose
it
to-
on, you go to Apple Care Plus, try to add it, and it's like, "You peasant."
Oh my god.
Wait, no, are you sure it doesn't have? I mean, I don't see.
Yeah, there's nothing about Apple Care on there at all. Like
Oh, wow, yeah, I'm looking through the terms right now. There's nothing.
it just lets you finance it through Apple like iPhone
For
payments.
citizens or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it has.
Dude.
That's really strange, actually. That's actually a big miss on their part if that's not the case.
Yeah.
They took one GPU core off of this. What?
Yeah, it's sluggish now. Terrible.
No,
slow.
that's just like what a weird.
That's so weird that I can, if you buy it outright, you can add Apple Care Plus, but if you
Right,
finance
but
it,
there's
you
no
can't.
option to finance and get Apple Care at the same time. That's really
That's so
weird.
strange.
Christ.
That's got to be not on purpose, I think.
Yeah.
Wait a
there's
minute.
something-
No, there's no option to get it without theft and loss.
Right.
Really?
It's just Apple, or yeah, you can only get it
Yeah,
with
it's just
and loss.
theft and loss. Yeah.
Dude, what? Who's getting their iPhone 16e stolen, dude? I'm sorry.
That's crazy.
If you're stealing 16es, you have other problems in life. Man. I'm gonna be
yeah,
honest.
for real.
2 years of coverage, $189.
Dude. That's
I'm really
crazy.
curious how it does though. I'm like, I don't think the single lens for me would be an issue. It still records in 4K 30 or whatever.
Yeah.
Wait,
So, I mean,
30?
spec-wise-
60?
Yeah, not 60, I don't think.
No shot. No, because it really.
Yeah, I think it's 30. I don't think it's 60.
God, even the
Would have
iPhone
preferred that. If not,
15
I'm just
compared to
not
the
gonna buy it at that
16e is such a weird. Is the iPhone 15 worth $100 more than the 16e?
I would
Okay,
think
does
that
it-
then.
It does do 4K 60.
Thank God. Okay, I was gonna say, dude, that just
Wait, hold on a second. It doesn't do 4K.
it does
No, it
these 4K
does.
60.
The
It-
16e
yeah, it does-
does
Yeah,
too.
Yeah, it does 60.
Yeah. But it's like
Good.
it's missing such weird things like this, like spatial photos, visual like all the Apple intelligence crap.
Well, I mean, the spatial photos make sense because if you're buying a 16e, you're not buying a like $4,000 Vision Pro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, you're right. Yeah.
That's wild. If somebody does that, I want to like meet them and
That's-
like they got to come on this live stream and we got to talk because
That's
like
gonna be
I'm
a
really
crazy combo
confused.
though. 16e and a Vision Pro, dude, that'd go so hard.
All right, let me see. So the iPhone 14. All right, I got the 14, 15, and 16e up just to see the differences here. Obviously, like colors are the big thing. Like you have colors options with the other ones. Aluminum, yeah, you got the ring silent switch on the 14 and 15, but the action button. I mean, that's like really not a deal breaker though. Like,
Yeah.
all these
Yeah.
things are not really big deal breakers to me. Apple
Yeah.
Intelligence is not like, oh, I have to have that.
I've never
Oh,
used it.
5-core GPU. I need that.
I've never played games on my phone once.
No, I mean,
Yeah, same,
you know what
yeah.
I mean. Like, you know what I mean.
No, I know. It's just really
They're
My
really
favorite thing
weird.
is all the reviewers, like you said, that were talking about wanting to test the performance, but then also talking about I can't wait to play these like high level games on the 16e to test its performance. It's like no one's doing that.
dude. Not a single person is buying a 16E to play games.
Right.
The funniest thing is like the battery is somehow worse on the 14 and 15 than the 16E.
It could be because of that the new cellular modem or whatever.
That has to be the
C1.
difference.
Yeah.
But Qualcomm's modems are really good.
Yeah.
And the last time Apple used, I feel bad. I know he's commenting here, but like the last time they used a different modem manufacturer was Intel with the iPhone 7, and that was a piece of garbage.
Oh yeah.
So
That thing
I'm
failed.
very curious how well this goes over. All right. Is looking disappointed. Really? Is it much better? I thought, well, okay. I don't know. I thought that the new 3A was going to be pretty decent.
It looks I don't know what they're thinking, to be honest. Like,
And they're doing a 3A and a 3A Pro.
their
Why?
company right now makes no sense to me. I'm like at a loss of like what they're trying to do.
I feel like they kind of more so lost the sentiment of what they were originally doing, like with the standard nothing phone.
Yeah,
Like,
it
the
was like
phone
all
one-
hype.
Oh, 100%. I mean, I still have my phone 1 edition or whatever the hell it's called that's
Yeah.
just sitting in a drawer. Like,
But they
it's
had
not worth
the lighting
anything.
effects, and now that's like their thing for every phone. I don't know.
It's really dumb.
Apple's doing multi-year Apple Care soon. Wow.
Yeah, they're just moving to
Yeah, it's
the
just subscription.
monthly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
Oh,
is,
yeah,
I mean,
that's
it's
true.
fine,
That's
I guess, but it's not great.
I heard that they're gonna potentially bundle that into Apple One as well, though. So like if you're already paying for Apple One, it will cover so many of devices that are also sharing Apple One. So if you're on like
That
a
would be
family,
nice.
you would get a family. Obviously, it's probably going to be like $50 a month instead of 30 or whatever it is now. But
Yeah.
I would be willing to pay that. I mean, if it's going to also
It
cover
covers
all of my
your
devices,
AirPods and like
Yeah.
MacBooks, and dude, yeah, that's worth it.
yeah,
So it sounds like the 16E is literally using a 14's, pretty much.
that's what it looks like.
14 stuff.
Yeah,
It's just
Like
a
the
14.
only difference is obviously the processor and a couple of different things, but like
The thing is, though, is
screen-
that you can buy a 15 Pro Max for the same price used. Like I would
Yeah.
at that point, I would just get a 15 Pro Max and live.
No, like now,
Yeah.
now you got me. Hold on, you got me curious. So like I used the military discount for it, so it came out to like 607 for the 16E brand new. Let's see. So let's say 15 Pro Max with what 256. No, well, it comes with 128 was they had that for 128. It's a little bit more depending on which one you get.
Marginally, dude. I mean,
Yeah,
you,
it's
if
not.
you dig hard enough on eBay, you'll find one for the same price, if not cheaper.
Yeah, like unlocked ones 718 starting.
but even then, it's like that's not much more than
No.
for what you're getting in comparison. But
Yeah.
I think the main reason, because like I said, I wasn't even going to buy it, but that C1 chip sold me because I'm like, if they're going to end up putting this in future iPhones, I want to know what it's like now before I go down that road. Because if it sucks and they announce the 17 series and they're like, oh, we got this C1 chip in here, I'm going to be like, maybe not.
I feel like that's what they're going to have in them, but this is a good test bed.
Well, they said that they have the Qualcomm contract till 2026. So I almost feel like
so the 17s are going to have it.
Yeah,
they have
They
to.
probably, yeah. Like they probably have a certain amount of ones that they have to use within that contract.
right. Yeah.
And they were like, well, this phone is like it's like nothing, no
Right.
difference really.
Yeah, maybe
Well,
hopefully it's
I
good.
think it's gonna be. I mean, I do hope it's good because it's honestly. I mean, the service, at least with my phone, I found that a few Samsung phones I've used have actually gotten better reception than like my 16 Pro Max.
Yeah.
So
It's going to be it's an expensive investment from Apple. I mean, they spent so much money on this, so I'm hoping it's solid. And if it is, I mean, they're going to be saving a lot of money by not forking over billions to Qualcomm, which isn't great for Qualcomm because
No.
they're also seeing that with like Nothing and other companies. Like they're all flocking to like MediaTek and others because they don't want to pay the Qualcomm premium.
yeah,
But I think one thing that Qualcomm has done is that they've kind of expanded their product lines to other things. So like I think that they're a good company, I think, in my opinion, just because they see the writing on the wall with a lot of
Right.
that stuff.
Yeah.
And rather than trying to rest on the, I think it's like a lot of companies do, they rest on their laurels. They're like, you know what, we have a good product and you're going to keep buying it. But then companies are like, you know what, no, it's too high price, it's too premium, and you're cutting into our bottom line.
Right.
So they're like, all right, we're going to do different stuff. And so they're making the waves and doing the stuff now so that when that time comes, it won't be as big of a hit to them.
Right. Well, and I think
Well-
they've seen like what happened with Intel and what
Yes.
happened with others, and they
Yes.
were like, that's not going to be us. And
Yeah.
over the last like 2 years, especially, they've really pivoted to like the laptop market and like
Yep.
just other product lineups that make more sense.
Yeah.
And I think, yeah, and even like the automotive market, like I think that's going to
Yeah.
be huge for them too. So, and Qualcomm's
Yeah.
been huge in automotive for years, so I think that's going to be massive for them also.
That will be definitely. I mean, the automotive thing kind of blew my mind because I never even thought about that. You know, like obviously, like
Oh, yeah.
Tesla's using like actual PC chips, but
Yeah.
you know, you want something that's going to. They don't want to use something like it's not going to be something expensive, but it has to be able to be small. Has to be able to deal with rapid, you know, weather fluctuations, like temperature fluctuations. Like you imagine freezing temperatures,
Yeah.
you know, super hot temperatures. Like in a car, like you've got just it's a whole different environment. And then you've got all the stuff it's got to run, all the safety features, you know, screens. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff with that. It's pretty interesting though. The laptop thing, I will say, I am mostly happy with their ARM chip on the laptops. The only thing I'm not happy with, and this is probably, it may not even be a them issue, is just like certain drivers are still a problem.
Yeah.
Like you look at Apple, and I'm using a MacBook Pro with an M1 Max chip, and like it's from a few years ago. But when Apple pushed these out, they did such a good job with Rosetta 2. Like there was a seamless experience. You going from an Intel machine to a ARM, you know, Apple Silicon machine, you had no difference, and everything worked as it should. And like with
Yeah.
Windows, that's the problem. Like they still have not gotten that completely right. Like
Yeah, I mean the thing is, I feel like if Snapdragon had launched their X Elite chip or whatever the hell it's called alongside Apple's like M1,
yeah,
I think they'd be tied. Like right now, in
yeah.
performance wise, they'd be 1-to-1. I'd say.
Yeah.
So it's going to take, I'd say, 3 more years until they're like really doing well and everything's smoothed out. Because I think once they hit that point
agree.
too, it's going to be amazing. You know, once
I agree. And
we
like
have
Apple
laptops.
started with a really good chip. Like they started with a really good chip. So there's
Oh,
not and like the progression has been very minor. Like obviously there is good progression, like from the M1 to the M4, but like it's not like drastic change from like the initial release.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of people still have MacBook Airs from 2020. A lot of people have Pros with the M1 chip because it's that damn good. It's
If
like
they were
that
Intel,
good.
you know, MacBooks, they wouldn't last as long. You know, they'd be in the bin.
Like we all had did we not all have the same MacBook Pro right before the M1 with
Yeah,
the i9?
The 20,
That
yeah,
was the worst.
yeah.
I still have that for work. That's
Hey,
literally what I use for work, and it gets
That's the
so
worst
hot.
MacBook I've ever
We're talking
had.
about the 16-inch, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think it was a 15 at the time.
No,
wasn't
the
it 15?
16.
It was
They
16,
had
yeah.
the
But it had the
16,
i9.
2019.
I got the
yeah.
i9 and it was like hot garbage.
Yeah.
No,
It's terrible.
I had-
The fan is
before-
super loud.
Yes. The one before that I had the 2015. No, I'm sorry. It was the 15-inch 2017 model with an i7. That was perfect. That was good.
Yeah.
But when I got the new one, I was like, how is the new one worse
Right.
with an i9 chip? Like it was just bad.
Well, so I had mine with I think mine was a base model, and
Yeah.
I honestly kind of liked it. I don't know. I mean,
I went
never had
with
any
I got
issues with
the-
it really.
I got the nice one. I did. Now the thing I did see, they had issues with that dev kit, and the dev
Yeah.
kits went to some people, and it was like just half baked. So like, yeah, they messed up on that front because like you think about it, like I saw something where someone was saying like, where can I find an inexpensive Snapdragon X Plus or X Elite? Because all the laptops are near $1,000, right? And they're just now starting to get the budget models out. But now Apple's to the point where they can release a $600 Mac Mini with M4, and it blows the performance of a lot of these things out of the water. And it's like they need to come out with something like that, like Microsoft Surface, didn't Surface have like a dev kit at some point? Like what is up? They don't give enough like attention to these, and you're screwing yourself because those dev kits help to develop other stuff to make your stuff better. And if you don't actually like put forth a good dev kit, you're just screwing yourself.
Right.
You're just
I think the issue is these companies are like trying to be like way too obscure and like, try to be secretive as much as possible to try to prevent leaks and such. Yeah. But that of course ends up killing them because nobody's prepared for what they're launching. Which is with a new platform like the X Elite series, you kind of need to be prepared to transfer everything over to ARM. It's not like a simple transition. So
it doesn't help that the M chips are so good. Like it's like the Mac Mini, like I'm still using the M4 Mac Mini, like the footprint of that thing, the performance you're getting, and then the price point, like I mean it's cheaper than the 16E. That thing's giving you better performance.
It's insane.
Yeah, like
it is.
It's just crazy how good that performs for like sub $500. Like that's probably the best deal you can get right now on any type of computer.
Yeah, with an education discount or a military discount, you get like it's $500 just over, right?
Yeah,
like that's a good deal. Like I said, like I've been using this computer for months now. I'm happy with it. Like it does what I need it to do. Now, mind you, like, I think it depends on the brand. Like, the one I'm using is the Asus. I have the HP. The HP was more reliable, which, I mean, I kind of expect. HP should be reliable. But, like, the Asus has these weird little glitches. But, like, the perks are still there, right, with the ARM chip. Like, you still have the amazing battery life. You still have, like, zero fan noise. I can have 1,000 tabs open with no problem. Like, I turn on my ThinkPad with an 11th gen Intel i7, and the thing, like, the fan turns on as soon as it turns on. It's slow as shit. Like, like I really got used to it, but there's like little, and this is the same. I go right back. It's little things. It's the little things. Like I can't connect a printer to this computer. Why? Because the drivers are x86 and they didn't figure out how to emulate them. When Apple did that, Bonjour works perfect. No problem. And it's like, I don't know. I don't know what goes through. Like, why do they not think of these things? People, like, if you consider this for like enterprise use, it's automatically a no. You tell any sysadmin about this, they're going to say, hell no, I don't want this in my environment because you can't even fucking print from it. Why would I want this in my environment?
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, if they were to fix those little things and get that stuff, I mean, you just imagine, like, you're not going to buy new printers. You're going to get new computers on a lease for 3 years. You're not going to replace that Xerox that's been sitting there for 7 years.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that thing cost $3,000. No. I know that's stupid. I know. Stupid examples, but.
No, you're giddy. Just.
What?
Nothing. No, keep going, man.
You're making fun of my rants. Stop. What did I say? What did I say?
No, you're doing good, man. Just keep going. You're excellent.
Oh my! No, you're making fun of me. I think.
No. No. You were just talking about printers and stuff.
I hate printers so much. I hate them. I really do. But like.
Speaking of printers, which has no, okay.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to go on. I really did. I go on a tangent on. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Kikansa's mine is. Oh, say hello. Do you see the other kitty? Say hi. Say hi.
He's gonna kill you.
He is gonna kill me.
Dude, that claw is going straight to your eyeball.
He's gonna take me out. Take out my microphone.
I found my #1 used iPhone Air accessory right here. It's
Oh no. Oh yeah, I love it.
Little MagSafe battery.
I love it.
That
would be interesting. A Samsung Mini PC would be kind of interesting.
You got to test that MagSafe charger out on the 16E with a MagSafe case.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Michael! When you get the 16E, just do a video. Be like, all right, let's test out some MagSafe accessories on the new 16E, and you just have it, and it falls on the table, and
it just
that's the end
falls
of the video.
off. It cracks. Shatters.
Literally, like like a 2-second video of you just trying to put it on there and just falls off. It's done. That's it. But yeah.
The
No, the-
Samsung Mini PC, I feel like Apple's just kind of dominated that space at this rate, and like
Yeah.
there's no reason for another Mini PC in the market. If it's not like if it's running Windows, at this point, why? Why does it run Windows if it's a Mini PC? Because you're not playing games obviously on it.
Well, you gotta like think about it like
it's-
this, like gamers obviously aren't going to use that, but like a mini PC would be beneficial for like Drew's situation, like working from home, if it's a company PC, rather than
Okay.
giving them a laptop, because what they moved away in enterprise.
Oh
they
no,
moved
I
away from
I get that, but why
Yeah.
not a Mac Mini at that point though? You know, like why would Samsung need to make a Mini PC?
Yeah, I mean, with Android, like that'd be very niche. That would be a very niche thing.
Well, it would be running Windows, I would assume. But even if it is,
It'd be a hard
with
sell
XLE.
because because like Asus and a few others have tried the mini PC market,
Yeah.
and they've only found it to be successful running older versions of Windows, typically selling it to enterprise or industrial facilities,
Yeah.
because industrial
Right.
facilities like manufacturing, they'll encase it in an industrial case and usually use those at like workstations in
Yeah.
manufacturing.
Yeah.
But it's to that point, I think it's really hard to sell a mini PC to just everyday consumers, because in most cases they're not going to want that. Like it
I
just
think-
doesn't fit well.
I think the other thing to consider too is like the difference between Mac and Windows is like the entry threshold to get a Mac is a Mac Mini. Like there is
Yeah.
nothing cheaper, and if you want a laptop, you're paying at least $800, $900. So like the threshold. That's why I think the Mac Mini is successful, is because it has a great performing processor. You're getting a baseline level of storage and decent RAM. And for that package, yes, that's a really good entry point to get on Mac OS. But for Windows, they probably won't sell because number one, like you have to have a really good design. Apple knows how to do design.
Right.
Like maybe I could imagine Microsoft Surface if they came out with like, think about like their laptops and they're really nice, the colors that they have. If they had them in different colors, I could see that doing decent, but they'd have to stay at the same price point. Right. And then Windows PCs have such a wide range of prices. You can get something for as cheap as $100. So like,
Well, they
where's-
sell even smaller form factor Windows PCs, because you have the Windows PC like the sticks, where it literally just plugs into your HDMI port.
yeah,
And it's like, yeah, they're not super high powered or anything, but it's like
I'm
they
just
can't even sell
remembering.
those.
for basic things, yeah. Sorry, what?
Oh my God. I'm so sorry. Okay.
Why'd you type it? I'm right here,
I'm so sorry. Okay. Yeah. We have been on for 3 hours now.
dude.
I think we
I'm
more
falling
than made
asleep
up for
while
a
I'm standing
year.
up.
I think we made up for more than a year of no streams. You're welcome, audience of 5. Stop
It's a
it.
5.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
fine.
You say sorry out loud in the chat, and then you keep going.
I'm
Yeah.
tired.
You're tired.
Okay. Yes.
You seem to be doing a lot of yapping for someone that's fucking tired. Ian.
No, these are good questions. These are good. Okay.
But you
And
haven't
yes,
been
that is-
answering them.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Okay.
All right.
We're
I think
at
it's
2
time to do a
hours and
little
57
after
minutes.
stream,
We're
and
cutting
then
this. We're cutting the stream. All
We're
right.
not even gonna make it to the 3-hour mark at this point, Ian.
Do
You can't
wanna-
talk for 3 more minutes.
Rock for? Wow. I don't appreciate this. I feel. Listen. I will go pull out more phones and I'll keep us on here for another 30 minutes at this point.
Oh, Ian.
No, I'm not going to. I'm not going to. I agree. It is crazy. I do keep talking. It's terrible.
Bro.
Yeah. All right.
I-
Now I'm paying attention to the clock and now it's going slow. Like what?
yeah, suddenly it's now an actual full minute instead of just
All
a
right,
fake
all
minute of Ian
So let me
talking.
talk about how much I hate printers. Will that
Dude,
help?
No, it won't.
That's another stream.
Listen, I don't have prototypes.
Do I
This
pull up my
man,
prototypes?
this man over here does.
This is the only flex that I really have. The one that took 4 years to find, and I will never let this down. So you're so
Did-
sick.
Who has bought like the demo phones, like the like pre-release kind of phones?
I used
I
to
don't-
buy a whole bunch of like I had the Note 7 prototype. I have a few other.
Yeah.
I had an iPhone 11 Pro Max. like EVT. I just stopped because it got very expensive very quickly.
Yeah, like one of the DVT models or whatever.
So the one I had was a EVT 11 Pro Max. It had
Editions.
pre-release what is it called, non-UI software on it. So it was like before iOS stage.
I
and
will
that was
say,
cool, but
oh, that's cool. I will say I would like to have one of the like Apple Store phones with the just like that software on with all the games and stuff that it includes by default.
dude,
I
you
think
can
that'd be
do
kinda
that
cool.
for free. I can get you here. I'll help you after the stream.
Oh my
You
god!
got less than a minute now, so now
All
we
right,
can
Oh
close
no!
out.
all right,
Oh
let's-
no! You gotta hurry
I'd like
up.
to thank my family. I'd like
Stop
to thank
yapping. Just leave.
He just leaves. You're gonna knock
the
over
stream
the
on.
creamy.
not the creamy.
Oh, no.
All right. So thank you all for joining us for a 3-hour stream, and I apologize to my co-hosts for having to listen to me bitch about printers for probably a good 10 minutes because I hate them so
Ah,
much.
the Xerox is so.
I know. Like, when was the last time you heard someone talk about Xerox?
Not until today.
Just now for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You're welcome. You are welcome.
Oh,
Oh
man.
my god.
Did my battery
And then
blow
we
up
got a
my Note
comment.
7?
Did your battery? blow
It
up on
actually
your Note
did.
7?
I have the original battery from it. It's puffed up from the Note 7. It says not for sale. So
That'll be
There.
your demise. He probably replaced it
Yeah.
with an FE battery.
it was an aftermarket Note 7 battery or something, but it worked.
It seems worse.
Wow.
All right, we're now at 3 hours. I feel accomplished. So thank you all so much for joining us. A lot of great comments. I'm really
you feel
sorry.
accomplished.
I hope that no one rewatches this stream. I feel like I talk way too much. But thank you all for joining
Is that
us.
the
And
point
we'll
of a
see you.
podcast, Ian? All right.
What?
Anyway, never
Yeah.
mind. Bye.
Bye. We'll see you next time. Thanks. Have a good weekend. I'm ending it now. There's an outro video option. God.
Should we add